There. We can do it this way, gang. And you can see my wonderful face while we wait. But yeah, it's been a minute, okay? It's been a minute since we've done some real controversial stuff. And I think this is going to be one of the more controversial panels I do. Next week will be controversial as well, but I don't know. We'll see. Her milk toast opinions. Do you think that's going to be milk toast, her opinions? We'll see. Fun fact, though, she's not the most controversial person on my panel. I did not know this before my guests, before this morning, and then I was informed. But fuck it, we ball. No one's banned on Twitch, so we stream on Twitch. No one's banned anywhere, so we stream everywhere. That's how we do it. That's how we go. That's how we roll. We gotta risk it for the biscuit. Feminism, I am ready for your strongest warriors. Seattle, welcome, welcome. I've always wanted to know what my problem was, right? Like, why am I struggling so much? And you know what? I've asked other guys, and they haven't been able to tell me. So I figured I'm going to ask the experts. Who better to talk about men than the people who love them, right? Which is women, for the most part. Yeah, we'll have a fun little show. How's everyone doing otherwise? Everyone having fun? Cheeky Banter, nice to see you. It's been a while. WhickTV gonna have our man hate stream? Yes, that's exactly what this will be. She, woman, man haters clubs. I'm trying to do the opposite of the Little Rascals thing, but I don't know if it's working out. Soyato, welcome. Jenny Burns, hello. Mythic Daedra, hello. Also, on Kick, Sansol, thank you for the raid. That was very kind of you. Do they call it raids on Kick? I'm not exactly sure, but regardless, I appreciate it. Aaron H, hello. Testy Johnson, nice to see you. And let's say hi to the Kick crew. Nair, Riska, Cloud Striders Rule, Emmanuel, A Little Bits, Iron Fortress of Gas. Welcome, welcome one and all. Who else is here? I think I got them all. If I haven't said hi to you, be sure to speak up so I can say hi to you. Yes, it's a man bad panel. Oh, and we have one of our first guests. Let's bring her on. Hello. We're live, by the way, so just FYI.
You startled me. Am I the only one in here?
So far, but we still got about 3 minutes before everyone gets here. And can you turn yourself up by, like, a lot? Cameras help too.
Is this any better?
Yes, it is better.
Okay, all right. That was just like the only difference.
Fair enough. But yes, cameras, make sure they work. I want to be able to look you in the eye and you tell me what all is wrong with me, okay? You owe me that at least.
Oh okay. My goodness.
You owe me that at least. How you feeling? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm not gonna lie, a little concerned, but we'll see. See how it goes. I'm worried. I'm
You're
nervous.
worried. I am very worried, Wick.
Why are you worried? You're not the one on trial here. You're not the one in the hot seat.
Well, we'll see. I'm sticking up. I'm apparently the only person sticking up for men. So.
Well, we'll see. Maybe you won't be. Maybe the other guests will surprise us all. But this isn't a. You do know this isn't a panel just to stick up for us. You should, and I hope you do, bring any criticisms and any hatred that you have towards the male half of the species.
Jesus.
Because that is what we want to talk about today, right? Like, I want to go over women's experience with men, right? And why, what the problems with it are, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Bring hate, Wick wants hate, yes. Yes, I do. Mantis says, I would have, haha, and wouldn't have. I don't know what that means, Mantis. That's very unclear. Just like a woman to be confusing and unclear, okay? Look, I'm going to be real with you. The real reason I'm doing this is so that next week I can do the opposite and have a panel of all men and just talk shit on
Yes,
women.
I saw that. That's a little burying the lead here. You had so many people on Twitter just saying like, "Wow, what the fuck? That's so unfair. When are we gonna get to talk about women's?"
Next week. Next week. I've already had no. You're memeing a little bit, but real talk. I've already had like 4 or 5 people slide in my DMs being like, "I want to talk shit on women. Let me on the anti-women panel." Like, just super excited about it. Okay, where's everyone else?
Is it just gonna be me and you?
I hope not. Mooncake's restarting her computer, apparently. I don't know why she chose now to restart her computer. Look, I'm just making a note and making a list of all the problems I'm going to bring to the panel next week. That's what I'm doing right now. Everyone was good as of this morning. Okay, one more. Excellent. Hello.
Hello.
I can't hear you at all.
What?
Oh, you're very quiet. Is this just me?
Here, it might be just you, Wick.
Let me. Can you hear her?
No, my chat is actually saying the same thing. Why is this happening?
Let me.
Oh, this. Is this better?
Yes, much. Whatever you did,
dude.
it's working now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. You guys are sliding in here a little better late than never, right? So.
1 second. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Just making sure.
Okay, who are we waiting on? Sasha and Sevinth.
Oh my god, my dogs.
Give me a second. Let me
Make
sure that they are around and ready.
1 second. Alto. Oh. I just realized I didn't even mute myself. Come over here. Okay.
Woo!
Apologize for the lateness, gang. But that's what happens when you invite a bunch of. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. This is just a streamer thing, not a gender thing. Streamers are notoriously late, but
you're already starting.
Look, it's been a day. I've had a lot come my way, but we'll get through it and we'll just go. You know what? When they get here, they get here. I want to give you all, for being so gracious as to come on my platform, the time to say your piece and have your stances. So what we're going to do is we'll just get this show on the road, and when they get here, we'll drag them in and they can pick up where they wherever we are. Does that sound good, gang? We good? Everyone fine with that?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, and with that, welcome, one and all, to yet another episode of WhickTV, a cross-ideological space where we come together to talk about issues both political and cultural, from the silly to the serious. And today, my friends, we are going to be talking about men, right? We talk a lot about men, but I don't think we get this perspective enough. All the panels I've seen talking about men are usually have men in it, and you think, oh, that makes sense. But I wanted to get a perspective from the other side of the species, if you will. And I wanted to invite some women on, men experts, if you will, to discuss their experiences with men, the pros and cons of men, and everything in between. So I wanted to give each of these wonderful individuals a chance to introduce themselves, to say hi, and then just maybe give me your hottest take on men. And we're going to start in the reverse order you showed up, and we're going to go with Mooncake first. Mooncake, hi.
Oh, hi. Hi to you guys, Icebeans, Impish. Yeah, I'm Mooncake. I play like Genshin Impact, League of Legends, Mario Kart, and do like a little bit of commentary. I've been doing some political panels. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. Not that you're interesting. If you want to watch that, follow me on Mooncake XO on Twitch.
Okay, what's your hottest take on men?
Oh, I don't think they're trying hard enough.
We'll elaborate on that when we get there.
Okay.
Lav, Impish, which do you prefer
Oh,
now?
sorry.
I don't even know.
Impish,
Okay.
Lav, Leah, you call me anything.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell people who you are and give us your hottest take on men while I try to wrangle these other women.
I'm Impish or Lav or Leah, and I just started my podcast, Bloodbath Podcast, with Emily Wilson. Emily Saves America. It's an anti-PC culture and politics podcast. I'm also just like an internet cockroach. I'm just around. And my take on men is that they're not masculine anymore. I think that's what is wrong with men, is they're not masculine anymore, and I think that they have bastardized what masculinity is. Yeah, men aren't warriors anymore, and it sucks.
Okay, well, I guess we will find out what exactly that means as we get into it. Assuming they aren't showing up, because at this point they're not responding to my DMs. Last but certainly not least, Icebeans, what you got for us?
Hey, I'm Icebeans, Ice_beans on Twitch. I'm a variety streamer, and I'd like to say that I do chill content, but lately all of the topics that we have been covering have just ended up degenerating into either incest or racism or anti-Semitism or something of that kind, so I don't even know what I am anymore. But it's a fun time on my stream. So you should definitely check me out. As far as my hottest take on men, I would say that God, I guess I wasn't prepared for this one. I think I kind of agree with Mooncake's one, where I think that they can try a little bit harder, maybe not necessarily in the ways that they think they should, just in other ways. I guess we'll get into it, but yeah, that's probably
Okay.
my hottest take.
Not masculine enough, and they don't try hard enough. These are what I'm hearing. Sevinth will be here shortly. She's having some tech issues, but we'll bring her on when they go. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what you mean by not try hard enough. Care to elaborate a little bit?
I think, like, as we've seen, women are moving quite farther ahead, at least when it comes to like education and things like that, entering the workforce, maintaining corporate jobs, or just really any type of job. But I think men have reached a point where they don't know who they are and they don't know what their place is in society, right? After World War II, you had the boom of like the nuclear family, where most men would go to work, women would stay home, take care of the house. But now you're not having that dynamic anymore. So I just kind of feel like men are losing their place, and they don't know how to, I don't know, like adjust to like the current environment. And I think they're struggling. But I think it will take other men to help those men to figure this out, right? We just need more male figures that aren't people like Andrew Tate, for example.
Okay. Does that kind of track with what you think, Icebeans, here, or what?
Well, I agree in that I think that the roles that are available to men, just like with women, they are kind of opening up. Like a stay-at-home dad isn't a super crazy thing in today's world. But I think that there are still areas where men kind of are still stuck in the old roles. So even though they may have bigger parental roles, for example, they might not always step up. Like we still have this issue where the mom will do most of the child rearing, for example, and there's a lot of like emotional labor that goes with it. And so, in that sense, men don't really. They're still like, okay, I'm still like the breadwinner. I'm still the person who just kind of disciplines my kid, but I'm not gonna know what to feed the kid if mom's not home, right? I don't know what my child's like sock sizes are, like things like that. You know, so they do tend to come up lacking in those areas, and there's also a bit of reluctance that I see when it comes to like stepping up and taking the stepping into those shoes, basically. Um, I do agree that more male role models are needed. I don't know if they're Andrew Tate, but I would definitely say better male role models are needed.
I mean, it sounds like this kind of contradicts what Lav was saying about being that we're becoming less masculine. Would we not say that men taking traditionally feminine roles, such as caretaker, etc., is contributing to that demasculization? Maybe it'll help if I just ask you what you mean, Lav. Demasculinized men? What do you mean?
So let me clarify my position. So I think that with the push to be genderless, sexless society, men and women have become sort of like confused with their natural inclinations, where their natural inclinations end and begin with what society's telling us. But I mean, decades of Evo Psych tells us that we will naturally fall into masculine and feminine roles generally. And so even though that is true, men are still very confused, and they're not really taught to be the masculine, the father, in like a way that is helpful or like progressive. I think that men should take responsibility. I think that men should show stoicism. I think that men should provide. I think that these are all things that men like to do. Men should work. Men should have a job that challenges them. And men just aren't doing this anymore. Men are getting women pregnant without marrying them. That's a huge problem in multiple communities. That's obviously like not taking responsibility. To me, that's not masculine. That's not traditional masculinity. I think that, that's just a huge problem. I think that a lot of these men want to be like players, and they want to live like the top 1% of men because of Andrew Tate's and because of Fresh and Fit's. And that is they give horrible prescriptions to the everyman that should have a family and settle down and take care of his woman. And, this is all, yeah, that's basically it.
I mean, fair. But would you not say that, at least in part, that's not men's fault? They have been raised like this, right? They have been enabled to do this, especially by women. Wouldn't you agree? Like, women.
Sure. I mean, I think that there's been a huge push, especially like in university or in education, to make gender and to make roles more murky. And I think that for some people this was good, especially because we don't want to be in like a Muslim police state where we're like, women have to do this, men have to do this. But yeah, I think that overall, but I don't know, because I think that men still have this idea of what masculinity is, but I think that it's just been co-opted. It's just been co-opted by people who are grifting to make money and telling people how to live. And I also think that a big problem with men is that they value this like strange masculinity that's not real masculinity, and then they value
masculinity that's not real masculinity. You're gonna have to be
a little more
clear.
It's like I'm like the masculinity that's like fucking as many bitches as you can, getting as much money as you can, fast cars, like all this shit, like stupid degenerate shit, shit that doesn't matter. And I think that this is because God is dead. I think half of it has to do with the fact that, like, religion's out and secularism is in. But I think that there's a secular way to be masculine. But I think that we're just like losing it because of like the internet and shit like that, and because of grifters.
Sorry, Lav, do you think men need God to be more masculine? Like, I guess, how would you define masculinity? And I guess, that last question. Do you think religion is something that would be needed?
Well, I think that people need goals and a value and virtue system, certainly. I don't necessarily think it has to be something like God, but it should just be something. I mean, for a lot of people, it's family without God. For a lot of people, it's, glory, which is not a great one, right? Like, I just think that you need something to work towards. I think that there's a lot of aimless men, just a lot of bored, aimless men because they're not challenged.
So you're kind of saying like just like a lack of goals. They have nothing kind of to work towards, or their morals.
Well, I
Or
think that,
not.
I think that this is also a problem with women as well in this generation. I think it's an issue of vanity. I think that social media has like completely fucked us, and our priorities. So I think that even if you lived I'd honestly prefer people to live an aimless life over like the pursuit of vanity that men are currently being peddled right now.
Okay, like I
Go
don't
ahead.
know that the average guy wants to like fuck bitches, get money though. Like the average guy just wants to survive and
Well-
yes, settle down and have a family and stuff, but not necessarily go this like fast lifestyle, right? Like I that seems like a very constructed view based on kind of what you see in media essentially. But like if you talk
Well, I
to
lived in Los
society-
Angeles.
Okay.
I lived in Los Angeles for most of my life, so I will say that I obviously have an inherent bias just for that being what I've seen. But I also, I mean, there is just a clear problem of like men leaving behind their families and single motherhood, which is, I mean, that's not, if most men generally want to have families, then they're just doing it wrong. So I don't know. I think that also men, what's not taught in men right now is like restraint and self-sacrifice, which is a virtue that I think that every man should have. And it's just not being taught right now. And I
think-
don't know why.
I don't know if that's. I half agree and half don't. Let me explain and elaborate what I mean. So
Mhm.
I think that men have been conditioned to be scared to try, especially when it comes to women, right?
Sure.
So many men just do not approach women in public anymore. They won't try. They're afraid. They're at least
The cold
know,
approach.
yeah. They just they're paralyzed by it. They just can't do it anymore. So and that's not just, it's not just with women, but it's with in a lot of things. They don't want to come off as toxic. They don't want to come off as pushy. They don't want to come off as aggressive. They've been told these things are wrong and bad, and to many extent they are, but they have kind of internalized it in a way that has kept them from being assertive at all, and it's a big problem. So I don't know if I agree that they're
This is
not
also a
being,
psyop.
you
This is
think
also,
it's
I mean,
psyop?
I agree that, no, I agree that men are having to deal with that. I'm just saying, like, that is a psyop. I mean, if we could have another panel, half of this can be what's wrong with women, because I think that women
That'll
are
be
far too
next week.
fucking
I'll have a
sensitive
bunch of
now.
men to talk shit about women, but
Sure.
this week
But I think that women are far too sensitive now with that shit. 𝕾𝖍𝖎𝖙𝖘𝖍𝖔 talks about this. I don't know if anyone knows who 𝕾𝖍𝖎𝖙𝖘𝖍𝖍 is, but she's like, we used to be Spartan women. We used to not like care if men like called us sexy on the street, and we'd raise our families and we'd do the laundry and we wouldn't complain and yeah, I just think it's kind of ridiculous.
But
If you're a man, why are you scared that a woman's gonna be like slightly nervous if you come up to her, tell her that she's pretty?
what
Grow
do
up.
you mean slightly nervous? We're not scared that they're gonna be slightly nervous. We're gonna scared they're gonna tell all their friends that we like assaulted them, or
If you go up to them and say that they're pretty, grow up. Come on.
I'm just explaining.
There's no fucking way. That's not real life. You've psyoped
Okay.
yourself. That's
Fair
not real
enough.
life.
Fair enough. I wanted to introduce another guest. She's a bit late, but that's okay. Sasha, welcome. We are talking about why men suck. So why don't you tell us your thoughts? What is the worst thing about men, in your opinion?
So, having come from both sides of this, I don't really find men that bad, but I will say that dating wise, they are fucking terrible. It could just be from like being trans that like whenever I run into men, a lot of the times it's usually just all sex. That's all they fucking want, and uh, and I'm very like easygoing and very forthcoming, and I just try to talk to them, and I'm like, hey, listen, I understand it's a different experience. You're more than welcome to like be honest with me and tell me how you feel, and they're always like, okay, sure, no problem. And then multiple times I've been planning on going on dates, and then it gets to the time, and they're like, oh, I can't come. But can I still swing by later? And it's like, no, no, you can't do that. And that type of shit's so fucking annoying. But I just feel like their sex drive kind of pushes everything and kind of guides them on a lot of stuff, and it just kind of sucks from that aspect because I do see a lot of good in men, so I don't understand really why that happens. But
Any thoughts on this, gang?
I feel like online dating is kind of shit anyway, right?
yeah,
I mean, just like the nature of it, where you're talking, you kind of do have to talk to multiple people, and then eventually at some point, things get serious with one of the people, and then you kind of ghost everybody else, and that's just like number one of 999 problems with online dating. But yeah, I can agree that online dating is dumb.
I also think, sorry, hookup culture is just so normalized that on both sides. Nowadays, like if you go on Tinder, it's not really for dating. I think it's a lot for hooking up. And everything is just so overly sexualized that it's like people don't really care about like an in-depth relationship. Now it's like, where can I get sex and how can I get it the fastest?
Do you
This
think
is
go
male
ahead.
obsession. This Camila Paglia also talks about this. Is the male's propensity for obsession, right? And if you're not obsessed with your job or a goal, you become obsessed with something that's very that's all around you right now and that's very easily accessible, which is pornography. So pornography has completely ruined relationships, marriages, the male psyche, the culture surrounding masculinity. And that's a huge problem.
Do we agree?
I think porn addiction can be a thing, and I think that porn is definitely not good for things like, like body image issues, and even just educational wise. If you're getting your sex education from porn, that's probably not a good thing. I don't necessarily think that the average guy is being absolutely fucking wrecked by porn.
Well, it's.
Yeah,
Do you think do you think it has to be extreme, or do you think it can be in subtle ways?
It can be in subtle ways,
What
but the
are
thing
some
is
like
that
hold on, just
Then you
before
think
we,
of
just
and then
before
you
we go,
think of a whole population that
Sure.
is subtly changed by porn,
but
and that shifts
I
the
want us to be
culture.
specific. When you say subtle ways, can you give us some examples?
Like your sexual script being informed by pornography. I mean, the first time that men view pornography, they're about 10 years old right now. We know this. So your
Yeah, I
sexual
don't
script
think
is
here's the
being
thing.
porn has never influenced my even when I did hook up with girls, I never once was like, well, you know what? I saw in this video that I could just stick a thumb in there. Maybe I'll just do that. Like it's still I understand the difference between the two of them, and I mean it's kind of like when you watch like an action movie. I don't go around like punching people in the face just because I see that. I understand that in real life it requires different types of approaches, and
Sorry, I just wanted to add on to your point, but I'll let you finish. Sorry.
you're good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, we have all kinds of influences in our life. Like, just because you had your like racist grandfather use the N-word when you were a child doesn't mean that that you don't then later understand that, oh, that's not something you say. Like, I would say that in that sense, porn is like a bad influence in that sense, yes. But
it also
I would say for the average guy, like, that any misconceptions that they have, like, either they'll find out the hard way later on or they won't,
Right.
Like,
well, we're all learning the hard way right now with what porn has done to relationships is what I would wage to say. I think that even just the accessibility of porn makes men less willing to cold approach women, or less likely to try to have real life intimacy with real. I mean, when I got my Hitachi vibrator, I didn't leave the house for fucking 3 weeks. I didn't have to fuck anyone. I was like, this is it. I can watch porn. I could do this. Like, that is now almost every single millennial and Zoomer who has an accessibility to intimacy in a way that's not natural. So obviously they're not going out, they're not trying to have women have sex with them in real life or trying to marry them. They value sex too much and they value emotional intimacy too little. You don't get emotional intimacy from porn, but you do get the release, and that becomes very addictive to anyone.
Is that the issue of porn or just hookup culture itself?
Well, I think that hookup culture is influenced by pornography.
I think it's but then at the same time, you're also saying that people stay at home to watch like porn videos, right? Like they're not going out to hook up. So wouldn't it be maybe they're being more impacted by the culture itself, not just like porn? 'Cause I think porn is a way for people to be like, I don't know, like stay home, do their thing. I don't
Well,
think it's like
I
an
think that what you're increasingly seeing is people who are watching porn who don't want to take women on dates, who don't want to marry women, who don't want to do all these things, but they do want to fuck them. So then they will go on Tinder and have sex with someone, come back home, or watch porn. And then they use these women as like vessels of sex instead of like human beings. This is
Porn is
influenced by
like
pornography.
Porn is like a last ditch effort thing. Like if you haven't been able to go out, at least for me, like
I don't think that that's the
I'd much
case.
rather be hooking up with a girl than hooking up with the right hand. Like that's
I don't think that's the
I
case.
think for most men, I don't think consuming porn is going to like change their whole worldview of women. There are specific men who I think already have these like these thoughts already, who are going to view porn and they're already going to feel that way, or they're already going to do these things. They're already
But this
inclined
isn't
to
in
do
a
that.
vacuum. This isn't in a vacuum. So it's not just like when you view porn. We are constantly being paraded by porn, like always. It's in movies. It's on TikTok. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's a culture that is shifting because of the how frivolous sex and has become because of pornography. So it's bleeding into a bunch of different things.
To tie it down,
You're
just real quick.
You're just talking about sexuality. This is not porn.
No, I'm
This
not
is-
just talking about sexuality. I'm talking about pornified sexuality.
Let's.
So I'm talking about an exaggerated, dramatic, fake version of sexuality.
I don't know, like Coke ad I've seen where people are having sex in the middle of it. Like I'm telling you.
Have you seen a
like,
Got
this is
Milk ad
sexuality.
where a woman is covered with milk in a way that's supposed to look like ejaculate?
No, I haven't. And I definitely have. Like not at all.
Okay, well I
Wait,
have.
there's-
I've seen it
okay,
multiple
there's-
times.
Yes, there's ads that are sexualized. Like, so what? Sex sells.
Yes,
That's not
sexualized.
porn.
Well, that's yes, sex
People-
sells, but this is but that's not necessarily a good thing.
Okay,
Is-
so, I mean, okay, you can say that it's not a good thing, and that's fine. Like you can have
You
that opinion, but
monetize
you don't
sex,
say
I
that
mean, it's a
then
problem.
Porn is the problem of.
Well, I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back because I want to make the connection, or at least attempt to make the connection to what Lav is saying and arguing, because I honestly think she has a point, and maybe I'm going to get crucified for this later. But when it comes to the problems that both you, Icebeans, and Mooncake mentioned of men not trying, I do think there is something to be said with the ease of access to quote-unquote intimacy that is out there. Not just with pornography, but just with social media in general. To be able to you don't have to try. You just open up your computer and DM someone, or it's really easy
Can you do
to just to have these the fake calories, like the fake
Wait.
nutrition of these kind of
You're not supposed to
connections.
be. You're not supposed to be clicking on those ads that says like sex near you. Like you're not supposed to be clicking. On
No, I'm not talking
But
about
the fact that you join a website and that is what is on the site is the problem. It's subliminal messaging. Like it's
Hold on.
constantly all around us
but
in a way that is
there's-
unnatural.
There's
Wait,
subliminal.
wait,
There's like
when you
all
say-
kinds of fucking messages in our media. Like there's
Yes,
all kinds of
okay,
fucking
I'm
messages.
a genuine question. Are you saying that porn has not negatively affected men in the culture? Is that your argument?
I think it negatively affects both men and women.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
but we're
okay,
talking
but
about
it
men on
doesn't-
the panel right now.
Okay, yes, I understand that, but that doesn't mean to say that porn is like the problem and we need to get rid of porn and that will solve men's problems. Because
I
in my
don't-
view,
I don't think
yeah.
We're still
I
gonna
don't
have
think
this
in
issue.
this conversation I made a hard line like that. I said that this is how it's affecting the culture in a way that I think is completely substantiated.
Okay,
You did
what-
say
hold on, hold on,
pornified
hold on.
sexuality.
So-
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's say we get rid of porn. What do you think the world's going to be like then?
I don't think that we need to get rid of porn. I think that
You
there's
just said you
I
could
think
make it a worse place.
I
most
think
things
no,
that
this
make
is what
the
I
world
think
a
that there
worse
should be
place.
regulations around things like porn. Like I don't think that you should just click a button, that it should all be free, that there should be so many videos online. I don't think that porn should be allowed on TikTok, on Twitter
Okay,
in a
hold
way
on.
that is
Hold on.
digestible to
How do you
anyone and
regulate-
everyone.
Hold on. How do you regulate that? Can you tell a female that she is
Yes,
not allowed to
you
see
tell
nudes to
Twitter that
someone?
your investors, Twitter
but-
investors, you push Twitter investors to say, I'm not going to give you money unless
And
you
know what's
get
gonna
rid of
happen? You know what's
pornography
gonna happen?
on the
The
app
world's
in
gonna
the
make a
same
market off
way.
that.
In the same
Housekeeping.
way that they did with
Make-
Facebook. Sasha, do you
Housekeeping.
want me
Sasha?
to answer?
Sasha,
No,
it's
I
very
don't.
hard to hear
I'm
you.
trying
Can
to-
you turn yourself up?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my stream's having a problem here.
You ask me a question and then you don't want me
Yeah,
to
but then you
answer. What is
ramble,
this for?
So Yeah, but then you ramble.
Am I
and was
rambling,
trying to
or
say
is this conversation just too hard for you to
You're
contend
still
with?
rambling. You're still going. I'm trying to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
What I was trying to say is that let's say you get rid of all those porn companies, right? Then what are you going to tell girls that they're not allowed to send porn to other people if they want to? That's their choice.
No, that's not
What?
what I do.
No, well then what do? There's still going to be porn. Obviously, you can't stop it. So
I just
what's your solution?
okay.
Give
So
me a
we
solution
can't
other than
stop.
rambling.
We
Wait,
can't
can
stop
I-
rape. Why make it illegal?
Wait, can
We
I
can't
can I
stop it.
ask,
No, I
can I
think
ask
Why
a
make
more
it illegal?
specific-
Okay.
Let me ask a more specific question, okay? So when you mentioned the ads, right? And you said that like essentially porn. Yes, what did you say? Did you say that like sexualization has been pornified, or was it the other way around?
I think that porn has influenced a new sexuality that is unnatural.
Okay, so
Oh wait. You don't hear me
then
better?
if you have a got milk ad, right? Where is your line for when then you say, okay, this is too sexual. We're not allowing this. Like, where is that line for you? Like, would you say, okay, like a suggestive ad? Like, I guess that's my problem that I have with this is that there's not a really ambiguous line. Like, your idea of what constitutes sexual in an ad could.
I'm
like,
not
somebody
saying
else's
I'm not
line could not be there, right?
coming from like a Christian Puritan perspective. I'm not saying we need to get rid of all suggestive ads. I'm saying that there is clearly a line. Most people intuitively know where it is.
Well,
Like if
we're
you
asking
saw
you what
two
that
people
is.
having sex in public or porn on a display in an ad, that would be upsetting and wrong, right?
Okay,
We know
go
mostly
further
where
than
the
that.
line is. Sasha,
Hold on.
I-
Go further
shut your
than that
fucking
and
mouth.
explain yourself.
What?
Go further. What you're saying, I mean, like, porn is bad.
You're
It's really hard
roboting.
to hear. You're breaking up, Sasha. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. But
Okay.
let's move. Mooncake's been trying to get in. I want to give Mooncake a
Sorry.
chance.
No,
Don't
I
apologize.
think-
Just elbow your way in.
Okay, I'll try to do that. I think that we're focusing, at least at this point, a little too hard on the porn aspect. Like, I don't disagree. There are definitely like negatives to porn. That's not a question, right? As I mentioned previously, like if you're already predisposed to have sexist views and you watch like porn where someone gets beat up, you're probably going to try to imitate those things that you're seeing. I guess what I'm trying to focus on is I don't think the problem is that porn is ruining maybe the emotional connection or sexual connection for men. I think it's just men. Like, I just think they're struggling with that on their own. I don't think it's because of porn or because it's something they saw on like TV.
I don't think it's just porn, but I think porn is definitely an aspect of it.
Like, you think it's like a major aspect.
I wouldn't even go as to say major. I just think it's an influence.
Is it a cause or a symptom? Is my curiosity here.
I think both.
You think both, so it's kind of like a feedback loop, if you will, right? It's both
Definitely.
causing and the result of. Interesting. I guess what would be your advocacy to the men in my audience when it comes to this idea of porn being easy access? Like, because what it sounds like you are saying is, hey guys, I know you like this and it feels good, but you need to not do it. That's a hard sell.
This is impossible. I mean, even as someone admittedly who is like pretty against porn, I still watch pornography once in a while because it's there, right? It's hard to put that power into the people when there are corporations who are like feeding this to you, making a bunch of money, and this is like their job is to make you want to watch porn. It's very, very hard to tell the people to control themselves. This should be someone bigger, someone more powerful's responsibility to make sure that you don't, as an average person, have free access to millions and millions of videos from people fucking dogs to getting beat up to, like pseudo lolly child porn to like everything for free, right? That should be out of our hands for sure. I'd say to be aware of how much it's influencing your life. If you feel like it's affecting you in a negative way and really self-search, then yeah, don't hurt yourself. Obviously, men's sexuality is vibrant. So I know that you have to masturbate. You should masturbate. Masturbation is very healthy. Trying to do something like masturbate to memory or even still images it has been shown to do a lot less harm to the brain. Just be aware of it. Just be aware of it.
Yeah, you can't really like look. You can't close the box, right? Like the porn is out there, it's being made. Even if you made it illegal, people would still get around it. Like I grew up in Saudi Arabia. Literally half the websites I ever tried to go on, not just porn, were blocked. People still had porn. It wasn't an issue, you know. So really, like, yeah, I would say that there are some like harmful effects. I don't think it's like
With that logic doesn't make any sense. Why make anything illegal? People are still going to do it.
Okay.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. That's my point though, is that I don't think that making it illegal or even telling someone we're not going to be able
It's
to tell
obviously
a kid,
a
"Don't
deterrent.
Google boobs."
Making something
Like,
illegal or regulated is obviously a deterrent. That's why regulation
can't-
exists.
You can't make half of it illegal. If girls are allowed to send porn to other people or monetize off of it, that's still porn. That was my whole point I was trying to say earlier.
Well, actually, just to kind of jump in there, like with the porn thing, like sex has always been a thing. It always will be. There's been live sex shows since the dawn of time to whenever, right? So even when porn wasn't a thing, you could go watch people have sex for money. So I don't think this idea of like watching sex is ever going to end. I think what
And
it
it
comes down
shouldn't.
to,
It's natural and
especially
normal.
yeah, especially with men, I just think what the problem is for men, it's not the porn. I think it's the feeling that they're not being appreciated, the feeling that they're never going to succeed, and I think that's what they're struggling with. I don't think it's porn really impacting the like why they're struggling
Can
today.
you
I just think we're
elaborate?
kind of stuck on that.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that, Mooncake, when you say that the problem with men is they don't think that they're going to succeed? But you said earlier that they're not trying hard enough.
Yes,
So
so
can you
I know that
can you tell us
sounds
why?
crazy.
Like, because Lav here has postulated or has asserted that it's a lot because people are being demasculized, the access to intimacy and sex and through porn and other venues is creating this feedback loop that's hurting men and making them not want to try. So what would you're saying that's wrong-headed. So can you give us your opinion on what the cause is?
Yeah, kind of what I just mentioned. I know me saying those two things probably sounds really confusing. They're not trying hard enough, and then they're not being appreciated enough. When I say not trying hard enough, I don't mean as in like school or job or anything like that. There's this guy on TikTok. I can't remember his name, but he's like an older gentleman. He owns a ranch, right? And he talks to young boys about what it means to be a man. And in that, on top of being like pretty masculine, he still has that emotional side. And you could tell he's a family man. He's very self-disciplined, takes care of his body, takes care of his family, takes care of everything around him. And that says to me, that's a man who's trying. That's what a masculine man is. So when I talk about young men especially, I just don't feel like they're being the people to show up for you. They're not being that person you can depend on per se, right? Which I think a lot of men, at least prior, used to do. I also think they're struggling with their identity. So when I say not being appreciated enough, men work some of the most like dangerous jobs, right? But we don't really talk about it. We just say, well, men should do that. I think like on the oil rigs, it's like extremely dangerous, right? And you have these men doing maybe 14 hours a day, right? And let's be honest, they're not really appreciated enough. They kind of get shit on. So it's kind of that battle, is what I'm trying to say. I know, probably sounds like
Well, why are men being shit on so much then, right?
I think because you have other shitty men who make men look bad, and then unfortunately you have a bunch of men who decide to defend those men. I think sometimes men don't know how to separate from other men. Does that make sense? Like they try to just defend each other, and I think that is also part of their downfall. Like they don't want to criticize each other.
I think the
Go
I
ahead.
think the role models the role model thing is pretty huge. I would say that I feel like we've definitely had this conversation before. Like, where are all the fucking good male role models? They're like in the world, right? They're actual dads. They're not on Twitter. They're not on Twitch. They're not on YouTube. And I can name like several really good male role models, but they're people from my real life. Like they're my friends' dads or somebody I met who I knew. And these people aren't looking to stoke their ego online. They're not looking to sell any courses or anything like that. So yeah, you're just gonna have a harder time to find these people. And yeah, they do tend to be either family men who are dedicated to providing for their family, or they're alone, but they're still very family oriented. So I don't know. I think that it is a problem. I think that's the problem with men is that they don't tend to have these good role models, and so they follow what makes money online, right?
Yeah.
Like Andrew Tate and his ilk.
I don't know. And let me push back on this a little bit because I keep hearing this. It seems like, and no offense, Mooncake, but you're talking out both sides of your mouth on this, right? You're saying that
Okay.
men need to stick up for each other, but when men stick
No,
up for each other, that's probably wrong, right? Men need to look out for each other, but when they're looking out for each other, that's toxic and bad. And
no.
Go.
So it's not about like looking out per se. What I'm saying is like, let's just say your friend essays somebody, right? We've seen too many instances where the friends will defend them. They don't really want to give them up. So I'm just saying in situations like those, they have to be men and say, okay, this is not okay. We got to make sure like something happens to this guy. And I think if more men did that, because they do commit a high amount of sexual violent crimes, people would also trust men more, right? There are good men, but when you don't see those good men or you don't see them taking the steps to be those good men in the community, it's hard to I guess trust them or be positive.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and this will be kind of lightning round. If you're comfortable sharing it, and by all means, if you don't want to share the worst, that's fine. What's the worst experience you've had with a man? And we're gonna start with Sasha and go around. Sasha, worst experience with a man? Go.
Okay, so I didn't even know this man, but I was at a motel and I was going to see one of my friends and I was waiting for her to get back. And as I'm sitting in my car, I'm waiting there and I look up and there's a guy in a ski mask standing in his doorway, just jerking it. And I was kind of freaked the fuck out. I was like, what the fuck? And I was about to get out of my car to like say something to him, and then I was like, oh shit, if he's willing to do that, I don't even want to know what he'd want to do if I got out of this car. So I just like pulled off and I had to go tell the guy at the front desk. And I don't really know what happened after that. That was very ridiculous and dramatic.
Icebeans, go. It doesn't have to be a sexual experience. It could be any experience with a man.
Yeah, no, I would say my worst experience with a man was when I was kind of pushed off for about a year by weirdly enough by my eye doctor, where I was having an issue with my eyes, kept going in, kept telling them I'm having this issue. He would just like sort of hand me pamphlets like you have dry eyes, here you go, and kind of push off the issue. And it was like it was really bad because at the end of the year it got so bad that I literally went in and say, okay, I'm not supposed to be able to do this with my eyes, and I showed him what was going on, and the guy was like, okay, that's not supposed to happen. And then the next thing it was like, you need surgery. And it was, I feel like this is an experience that a lot of women will have when it comes to doctors, where they aren't taken seriously with their symptoms, or their diagnosed like with their own symptoms that they're reporting. They're not taken seriously, and I didn't even realize that it was a common thing until I kind of started talking about it online. And I would say that that's pretty bad. I didn't have to suffer for a year, because some person wouldn't like take the time, after 3 visits, to like look into it just a little bit more.
I'm super curious what you could do with your eye now. Like, what was it, like a trick?
No, it was like, oh, okay, all right. I'll tell you. My tear ducts were blocked, and so like my eyes were always tearing up. But I could do this thing, and this is what I did to this doctor because I was so pissed off. I could basically like press on my tear ducts and squirt eye juice.
Okay, that's good. We're good. I don't need to know more. Excellent.
You
Wonderful.
asked.
No,
You
I asked.
asked.
My fault. Lav, what you got?
I mean, you name a bad thing, it's been done to me. Like,
Fair Don't
you
have to
know,
go into
assault,
details. Yeah.
people not believing me, people making content out of my pain, being stolen from, you know, like, I mean, everything, even just existing in the world around men sometimes is taxing. So, you know, I had my dad leave, you know, that was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So, yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
wow. Okay.
you name it. You name it.
Do you think that there's and we'll get to you in Mooncake, but out of curiosity, do you think that has kind of jaded you towards just men in general?
I think for a time, but I have the most incredible partner. If I could clone him, I would for every single woman. So I mean, he's kept me from going completely down the black pilled route. I've never met a person as good as my fiance. So he's unjaded me.
Very good. Mooncake, what you got?
Nice. Oh, I was trying to. Okay, so I have one. I can't go into too much detail only because like it could affect me actually. But I had a professor in university, and like I went to them thinking like it was a safe space, obviously a male professor, thinking it was a safe space, right? And at one point I even said like, oh, like you could be like you're definitely like a father figure in my life. So that's the type of relationship I was anticipating. But then as more conversations went on, like asking to take me out on dates and things like that. So breaking that trust, I think, was one of the worst experiences I ever had. Because it was like, oh, you're not actually helping me, you know?
Why do, in your opinions, why do like I know that Lav's given her take on it's been kind of like modified, but why do men treat women poorly in that? Like, do you think it's just a matter of they treat everyone around them poorly, or do you think that men are specifically treat women poorly?
Are you asking the
Do
room
you
or
want,
The
Mooncake?
room.
do you
Let
want to be
me-
specific, Wick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer because I know what you're saying. I think that first of all, I think this comes from evolutionary psychology. I think that you know, being the stronger, bigger sex is going to inflate your ego. Being filled with testosterone is going to give you certain proclivities for certain behaviors. And I think that mixed with a culture where men don't police each other is a recipe for disaster.
What were you saying, Icebeans? But no, that's
Well,
good
I
comment.
wanted to know a specific. I wanted to know, like, what do you mean when you say
Sure.
treat men
So
poorly?
your story. Let's use your story as an example. Do you think that I would not have been taken seriously if I came into the doctor and said, "Hey, I got an issue," in the same way that you would have? Do you think that your doctor specifically did it to you because you were a woman, or do you think that doctor was just not taking people seriously?
I think there is a. I think like you know, I'm definitely not saying that men don't get taken seriously in the doctor's office, right? It's just that when you hear these stories, a lot of these stories just happen to be about women, right? Like I can count on just, and this is just me being like anecdote Andy, okay? But I know several women who didn't have their thyroid issues taken seriously by their doctor, and you know, I just don't know any men who have ever told me a story like that. Like I went to the doctor for X, they kind of dismissed me, you know. I had to figure it out myself or go to a different doctor. I've never ever heard a story like that from men. And again, not saying that doesn't
I have.
happen.
I've heard this. This is a competency issue.
Yes, I
No,
don't. I'm not
yeah.
saying that it's like a.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I joined a little late. I apologize. Hi, I'm Sevinth or Meg. But are you saying because
Incredible segue.
doctors are thinking that women embellish? What was the talking point here?
I was saying that basically, like there are a lot of times where women will go into a doctor's office with an issue and then kind of get overridden, or like, you know, sort of their symptoms dismissed.
Right, because
And
because of an embellishment type of.
Well,
I think
women
it has
are
to do because
obviously
people
high
misdiagnose
neuroticism.
themselves all the time.
Women
Wait,
are obviously high neuroticism. It is a feminine trait.
Wait,
It is a
Okay.
female trait.
Does
I'm
that mean that does it?
confused. Sorry, Icebeans. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is
No.
crazy for a second. I actually spoke to a gynecologist about this, and she said this to me. She said the reason why male doctors, because I had gone for an issue, a male doctor did not take me seriously. And she said, unfortunately, male doctors a lot of the time don't believe women when they say they have certain pains. They just don't. The pain that I had, they had to search and search for. Gynecological cancers, there's about like 7, I believe, right? Are actually very rarely researched compared to like testicular cancer or breast cancer even. So that's an issue, at least for women, that we do see. So male doctors are not always inclined to believe women.
Yeah, I feel like that's just, again, just with that eye doctor, that was a bad experience because
Yeah.
it was an issue, right? It was a fucking issue that
I think that it
was
is an issue for
right.
sure, and I think that
But
there's an issue in the space where, I mean, I don't know. It maybe it's diving too far into it where I just came in, but it's like when people are like, did somebody sexually assault you or did they touch your neck?
are you asking me, or are you just saying in general?
I think that that's part of the issue that like you're bringing up is the embellishment type issue, and I just personally have experienced an issue within the Twitch poll space where it's like, did somebody sexually assault you or did they touch your neck?
Are you
Okay, I got
hold on. Because you did just jump in here. And I'm curious what you're talking about here. So $5
I'm
from
talking
Art
about
by
the
Pep.
Adriana Lee situation. I mean, I don't want to particularly just like turn the whole conversation to that, but I do think that it's relevant to what she's saying, where people are like, I don't know. There's
Sure.
an embellishment
Let me
issue.
read this super chat, and then I'm very curious what the hell you're talking about. Art by
Okay.
Pep. There are a lot of studies of how women's symptoms are dismissed in medicine. To be fair, not all
Yep.
from male doctors. I'll send you some links. Thank you, Art by Pep. Nice to see you again. But okay, so can you elaborate on what you're talking about? Because you're just coming in, you're
Okay,
dropping this,
for
and I
sure.
don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. So
So I was going to just touch on how it's a podcast about why men are the issue, right? So I think in the Adriana Lee situation, there was probably a lot of direction coming from Trainwrecks or possibly Destiny, where she sat there and came out and said that Crazy Slick sexually assaulted her, when at first it was just a weird situation at a party where somebody was being like touched on the neck, like, oh, do you have a pulse or whatever. And I think that that is part of an issue in this space, particularly where people are embellishing on something where they're saying something is sexual assault, where people are sitting here who have actually been sexually assaulted and are like, that's kind of fucked up for you to sit there and say that you were sexually assaulted when you were touched on the neck by somebody.
Does
And
this
it was used
pertain
as
to
a
the panel?
cancellation tactic.
Sorry to be
Yeah,
rude.
it
Sorry to
does.
be rude. I feel
does.
like
It
this is in need
does.
of a
It
redirect,
does.
Wick.
But it's an
I don't think that
embellishment.
this is.
can we
Why
connect
are
it a
you
little bit?
redirecting?
Can you allow like
Don't be a
what?
Destiny dog, Lab. Come on.
I'm not being a Destiny dog. I don't care for the man. I just think that this is strange. I don't know if we should go down this route, and I don't know if it's pertinent to what we're talking about.
Why is it strange? Why is it strange?
Well,
Tell
to
me.
be fair, it is.
Explain. No,
we
no.
were.
Lab wanted to say it was strange, so
it's
explain,
left
Lab.
field. It's left field.
Why is
This
it left
it's not
field?
on topic.
Why is it left field?
We were talking about what's wrong.
How is that left field? So, Lab, you don't advocate. You're what do you identify
What is going
as at
on?
this point? Because you are like a radical feminist, right?
I am.
So do you think
a woman
that
making
somebody
a
touching
difference?
somebody on the neck, do you think that somebody touching somebody on the neck is the same as somebody raping somebody?
What is happening
Okay, what?
right
Okay,
now?
no, stop, everyone! I'm throwing a flag on the play. What? I'm not familiar with this situation. I am not. So I'm going to ask, right, that we talk about it, like, because it might be connected. I don't know. What about men? Because we are talking about men. Why is it men's problem that this happens? What about men?
Because of Trainwrecks and Destiny.
Okay, you're talking.
The two worst men.
Wait,
The
you
two
were asking.
Because when
You were
men are
asking
able
about
to use
the
people like a
medical thing,
dog,
right?
when men are able to use people like a dog, look, Mr. Girl, who people are going to sit there and try and call Mr. Girl a pedophile with no backing whatsoever. But Mr. Girl's girlfriend artfully depicted it when she put out a drawing where she was like, these are Destiny's dogs. Destiny literally uses people as dogs. That's what I feel like at this point. So if you're going to say what's the issue with men, I guess it would be like men in a position of power using
ask a
people
question?
as dogs.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Hmm?
Just because when you said he uses people as dogs, at the end of the day, they're all adults. So at some point, don't those people also have to take personal responsibility if they
For
choose to
sure.
be with
For
them?
sure. So that's why I think that somebody should take responsibility and say, yeah, I was being used like a dog.
I would agree with you, Mooncake, in that, like, at the end of the day, like, you know, okay, to bring it back to the medical thing, because I think we were talking about that, and not some like internet drama, which I will say I had nothing about. Like, yeah, I'm an
Don't
adult,
think that
right?
that's drama. I don't. Wait.
I would say that
I'm
no,
so
hold
sorry,
on,
but
hold
how are
on.
you going to say it's
No.
drama? How are you going to say it's
Wick,
drama?
you better take
when
control
I'm
of this damn
raising an
panel.
actual
It's
concern, an actual
something that
concern
we
about people in
don't know
Twitch polls
anything
space
about. We don't know
referring to something
any
as
details.
sexual
We don't
assault when they're
want.
being touched on the
We
neck.
don't know
No,
Okay.
because
anything
somebody that's
about
been
Okay.
the
sexually
issue.
assaulted has
Enough.
a problem with that.
Enough. I want
you
to get
fucking
to. I
kidding
want to get how women are treated by men in the in this arena. That is a valid topic.
That would upset anybody who's been through
I
an actual
understand,
situation.
but we are
About
going to
men.
talk about it
Like,
later in the panel. I promise you we'll get there.
okay.
But right now we're talking about the other thing. So again,
Okay.
before you came on, just to kind of catch you up to speed.
Wick.
It's okay. To catch you up to speed. We
Jesus
were talking about how
Talking over women.
it's just a lot to just come in here with. Okay, but to catch you up to speed, we were talking about how what is the problem with men today? So the two things that were mentioned were that men don't try hard enough.
Partial problem.
Men don't try hard enough, and that men have become emasculated. They have become
Cucks.
more feminized.
Cucks.
Cucks?
You can say I'm a partner. I'm gonna say cuck. I mean, I don't approve. I don't approve. Like, it's a word. I think that I can say that. I'm a Twitch partner.
Are you drunk?
No. But I'm gonna
Okay.
say I don't approve of men being cucks. Like, I don't think that's a wrong thing to say.
I don't
I don't know.
You think I'm wrong?
No,
Wait,
I just
do you want to be a cuck?
what?
In
Like,
no way.
Do you
Right? Like,
think
no,
I'm
this.
wrong?
Do you? I mean, she's preaching to the choir. Men aren't masculine anymore.
Right, because I'm saying that there's a partial problem that has arise from Twitch poll where people are just normalizing being cucks.
Okay,
That's
but
so
like,
weird to me.
if we're
That's
talking
weird.
about men, we're obviously not just talking about the men on Twitch poll, okay? I've never ever had a
True.
situation where I've looked at a man and said, "You're not a man because you want to, like, what? Stay at home and take care of the kids, or you know, be a little bit
No,
more
I think
emotionally
that's
stable."
honorable. I think that's honorable as
So then
fuck.
I don't get the whole like cuck thing. Like, what's with the oh man, like, men aren't masculine anymore. I don't know anyone. I
Well,
don't
you're
know
saying
any
men aren't
woman.
masculine, so I would say that the men that I consider to not be masculine are probably cucks, like Destiny.
Okay. $5 for Lawson Harrison to say we have cucked ourselves into over-validating women. Maybe so. I guess my
That's for
question
next
would
week,
be
Wick.
right, huh?
That's for next week. You gotta save those
Yeah,
for next
we'll
week.
save those for next week. The next
So
week
you
we'll
are
have
doing
the other panel.
What's Wrong with Women podcast?
Yeah, with all the men, but that'll be next week. That's
Okay.
not for today.
I do think that there's an
Wait,
issue. for
wait.
sure.
Can I wear a mustache and identify as a man?
Look,
and come on.
we have to get. Can we get through this panel first, and then we can get to that? I know a lot of people are excited for that one, but we got to do this one first.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it's okay that we've normalized cuck behavior. Like, I don't think that's a wrong thing to say.
Okay, what is
I don't think
what is
that
cuck?
I
Wait,
think
can someone
we
can someone
should
tell me what
normalize
is
cuck behavior.
what
I think
is
we go
cuck
back
behavior?
to Sparta, baby. We go back to
But
Roman times. We fuck everyone and each other.
Why laugh?
Because why not? Because why not?
OnlyFans?
What?
What is cuck behavior? Can
Like,
someone
I'm
tell
not
me
gonna
that?
sit here and talk about. I don't know if it's like a banned topic on Twitch.
This is what
But, like,
this is
is
what
that
happened
why
to me when I took Abilify. For the 2 weeks I was on Abilify, holy shit.
that you what? The 2 weeks you were on Abilify, you didn't agree with being on OnlyFans? I don't understand. What's your point?
How many SSRIs are you on, Seventh?
What does SSRIs have to do with OnlyFans and being a cuck?
How many SSRIs
Like, I'm
are you
literally just
Answer the question. I have a gun.
I'm asking you. I'm not on any SSRIs at the moment, but I'm asking you what SSRIs have to do with being a cuck, because I'm thinking that the reason that you're normalizing cuck behavior is because you still have an OnlyFans to promote. Is that true or
Are you
untrue?
off a perk right now?
I'm not trying to come at you in any way.
You
But
pop
can you
a
answer the
perk
question?
30?
Can you answer the question?
You pop a
Can
perk
you answer
30,
the
babe?
question? Can you answer the question? No,
What was the
you're
question? Sorry.
normalizing cuck behavior because you still have an OnlyFans to promote, which
I
is
do not have
fine.
an.
Okay,
I
hold on.
haven't had an
Okay.
OnlyFans.
I'm not
Hold on a
coming at
second.
you.
I do not have an OnlyFans. What are you talking about?
No, nobody has still told me what a cuck is, and I would say, okay, what?
If you look up
I
cuck
would
in the
say we
dictionary,
have-
you see a picture
Don't
of a
Google it.
Wiccalis.
Well,
Um,
listen,
you see a
I know
picture
what.
of
No, I know
Wiccalis.
what. I know what
don't
like a
think- I think
typical
it's
cuck
weird.
is. I just think
I
that
don't
like
think
we have
it's
bigger
normal.
issues.
I don't think it's normal. I think that it's weird that the point that the internet has devolved to with promoting OnlyFans, normalizing cuck behavior. I think it's weird. I think it's not traditional in a way that I'm not devolved to like traditional behaviors in a sense of like radical religious stuff like that.
Sorry,
But I do think that it's weird
but
that
even
cuck
if,
behavior
like,
is normalized.
I really don't know how we even
Mooncake,
got
go
into
ahead. Mooncake, go ahead.
even
Please
if-
save us, Mooncake. Save us.
Yeah, sorry, but even if you like enjoy having sex with like other people, I don't think that makes you inherently not masculine, right? It just is whatever you prefer. I think it's okay to prefer whatever you want.
I think it's
Also-
extremely masculine to be
Okay.
secure in yourself and share your beautiful women. Let your woman be feminine and chaotic and let her do whatever she
Share
wants.
your wo-
Okay,
Wait,
also
wait,
listen,
Lab,
can I-
you
wait,
think,
hold on.
Do you think it's masculine?
There is
for
no
a
bro-
man
there's
to
no
share his
bond.
woman?
There is no bond more special from man to man than sharing a female. There's nothing.
Okay, also,
You think
like,
that it's super
we have-
masculine for your boyfriend or husband or whatever to be in a room with
My
another
husband and
man
boyfriend are
watching
best
you get
friends.
we
fucked?
have
Like, how
bigger
is that
problems than
masculine? How
cuckery.
is that
Okay,
masculine?
we have
No,
bigger
like,
problems than
explain-
cuckery.
Okay,
explain
what
to
is the
me-
biggest-
Explain to me on a level where you're not just saying that to say it. How that's masculine?
Okay, yes. The real question though is which is worse, like being
How
a
is it
cuck
masculine?
or
No,
being a
explain
cuck
how
or
it's
beating your
masculine.
wife.
Explain
Like,
how that's
what's-
alpha.
what's
Explain
the
how that's
difference?
alpha. Explain how that's alpha. Please, you said it.
What
you
is
said it. So
alpha?
explain how
What
it's
is
alpha.
alpha
Explain how it's
about
alpha to
beating your
sit there and
wife?
be like, yeah, fuck my girl. How is that alpha in any scenario? Why
Okay.
would you ever want to be with a man like
If
that?
you
long
look
term?
at today's society, what do we actually have a problem with? People being cucks or men beating women?
That's a good
Okay.
question. Okay,
Okay.
let's
Okay.
rein this in a little bit. Let's bring it back to the topic at hand.
Choose which way, Western man.
Choose wisely.
Or
Choose
beating your
wisely.
women.
Choose
How-
wisely.
Your
Choose
character.
wisely, my friends. Do you want to be the man that's sitting in a room
How do
watching
we
your
fit?
girlfriend
Okay,
get
seven,
fucked, or do you want to be the man
seven,
that's
seven,
sitting there being
seven,
like, hey,
seven,
I
seven.
don't think that you should get fucked by this other dude
Seven.
right now. Choose wisely,
How do we-
my friends.
how
Are
do we
you an
fix
alpha
this?
or are you a
Bro.
cuck?
Okay, if you think this is such a big problem, what's your advocacy to fix it? How do we have men be less cucked?
That we say the truth like this and be like, hey, that's weird. Like, hey, Destiny, you're a little fucking weird to advocate for cucks.
He's not here, I promise
Yeah,
you.
say that, Wick. Wick, say it. What are you scared of?
What am I scared of? I don't comment on other people's sex lives. I don't.
Wait, this is a podcast about why you hate men. That's one of the men that I hate. Because I think
Fair
that
enough.
It's a
That is
problem.
fair enough.
I think that it's a problem when men are advocating for cucks. For cuckdom.
But
For being
I don't
like,
think-
hey, because do you know why? Wick, you know on a person, like a level where it's like,
Might need
why is he
muted
doing
there,
that?
Wick.
Why is he doing that? So that his girlfriend can sit there and fuck other men who he thinks can get him a leg up in a political
I
position.
promise you, I've never talked to Destiny about his sex life or his marriage at all. I just never have.
I
I just think
understand.
it's fucking
But
irrelevant.
at a level where
to
it's
the
like, why do people do that?
panel.
We're at a level where it's like, why? Break it down to why do people do that? And then it's like, oh, so that their girlfriend can fuck somebody that can give them a
I feel
advantage
I'm gonna be real
in
with you,
some
Seventh.
situation.
I'm gonna be real with you, Seventh. I feel like you're fucking me on this panel right now, right? By bringing
I'm not
this
fucking
to
you, I promise.
other
I'm sorry.
things,
I'm
right?
not trying to be.
I want, like, if you're gonna fuck me, buy me dinner first, okay? Super chat something, right? But for now,
Okay.
we're gonna
What
re-ring
kind,
it
what kind
in.
of a dinner? What kind of a dinner?
DM me after, we'll talk. But for now,
Alright.
for now, okay? I want to talk about maybe some of the.
Jesus.
Well,
I
since it's
would
brought
never
up,
fuck you
let's
on a
talk
panel,
about
I
how.
promise.
What are the issues that men have when it comes to online interactions, right? Because at least on Twitch, or at least in these spaces,
Okay.
we have a lot of interactions online with women all the
Because
time.
of the underlying issues, Wick, that I feel like you would agree with me on.
Okay,
Where
Let
people
the
are
man
like
finish his
leaning into
question.
cuck culture, and then it's leaning into culture where it's like
Wick,
men
what
are
was the
even
question?
afraid to interact with women because
Wick, what
it's
was
all
the
just
question?
used.
I don't even know anymore.
I'm
I don't.
confused.
Honestly, I'm so confused on this cuck thing. Okay.
Yeah, no one's
For one,
explained to
Pretend like
me.
it didn't
That
happen.
was-
Pretend like it didn't happen.
No one's
From what I
explained
know,
to me how men are being cucked more.
he engages in completely consensual relationships. He can do his thing.
Why are
It's
we doing
fine.
this? Can we not even do this? Can we not even do this? Can
Men
we not even do
want
this?
be things. Let them. I don't know where to go back. Where do you guys want to go back to?
Wick, take control of the panel like a
I'm
man.
trying, but
Okay?
I can't
Like
stop
a man.
laughing because this is crazy.
Yeah,
Ask another
yeah,
damn
Wick, stop
question.
letting us cuck you. Jesus.
My God, why is this about
I'm
Dusty
not trying to
sexual
cook
No,
your
stop,
content,
stop.
I'm not trying to cook your content.
We're fine. We're fine.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Let's rein it in. Okay. So restraint. Let's talk about restraint. What do you wish men would? Because we talked about what we would want men to do. What do you wish men would do less of, right? In general. Let's start with that. We're gonna start with Moon, sanity, hopefully, and then we'll go around. Okay, Moon. What do men do online, offline, either way? What do men generally do that you just find like, man, I wish you'd stop?
Oh, the one thing that I really don't like, and I've noticed it among younger men as well, is when they shit on older women. I just think it's immediately a turnoff, only because it's like we're all gonna age. We all are supposed to age, and we should. And it's really sad when like you don't see the same thing for older men. Like I rarely see women just shitting on older men, but as soon as men can shit on older women, that's what they'll do. And I partly think it's because they're not happy with their lives, right? Maybe they're having a hard time getting women. So that's the first thing they do to kind of make you feel less than.
Hey, Lav, what do you think?
I would really like if men stopped like raping and killing. I think that'd be awesome.
I think he said online though.
Yeah.
Online,
less rape and
I
less
think
murder?
that
Okay.
like stop trying to publicly humiliate women for being fat or ugly or old or yeah, all of that. Stop the ego Olympics. In fact, I think that less men should be online. I think it's a very feminine trait to be online.
What do you mean less men should be online? Can you elaborate?
Like I think if you are a man with a heavy social media presence, you should not be sexually selected by a female, and your gene pool should die with you.
That's a take. Icebeans.
Lav is like
Okay.
the meme where it's like the girl from Euphoria, or it's like the guy with 0 following.
Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
it should be.
Listen,
Yeah.
I hate to agree with I hate to agree with this take that was just put in front of me, but like I'll
Men
just answer that quick and then
exist.
I'll answer that real quick and then I'll tell you my answer, Wick. I think in relation to how it relates to what I was saying about male role models, yeah, it would be nice if like women were able to identify like, oh hey, this guy's just got like he's just got like a huge insecurity complex and he is like feeding his own ego by posting these things online or whatever. It'd be nice if we didn't give as much attention to people like this. Like, I hate to bring up Andrew Tate again, but fine, I'll bring up like Fresh and Fit and shit like this, right? So in that sense, it'd be nice if we weren't giving them as much attention and money and space and like rent-free spaces in our heads. My actual answer, though, is I think I actually want to piggyback off of what Mooncake was saying about letting women grow old, and kind of as it relates to like makeup, I would say. I feel like a lot of like there's that whole trope, and it's there for a reason, where like a man will be like, this is like a natural girl versus like a fake woman, right? And it's usually the difference is like the fake woman's wearing some kind of makeup. But for the most part, I would say that men can't even like, in general, not always, obviously, can't look at like a woman who is wearing natural makeup and identify, oh, they're actually wearing makeup. Like they won't be able to tell that male actors are wearing makeup. They're wearing shit tons of makeup, right? Like they don't look like that normally. But I feel like makeup is so demonized. By not just men. There are some women too, which contributes to the whole like women aren't allowed
Certainly.
to get old. But yeah, that's my.
Let me read a few super chats because we got a bunch before we get to Seventh. And Seventh, then I'll let you give your answer. And the challenge will be not to mention a specific streamer's name, any streamer's name, and we'll see if you can rise to that occasion. We'll find out. $2 from Nico P of a Z to say that's an inaccurate description of events. $5 from Lawson Harrison to say we have cucked ourselves into overalling women. I already read that. $5 from
You
me
ever personally banned a streamer?
to say, how is Seventh so insufferable that she's making me root for Lav? $5 from Melank. Panel was going so well until this meth head retard joined. $5 from Zephyr Hash to say, thank you, Wick, for this amazing content. Men's issues need more women input. And $10 from Hannah Thing to say, with the rise in violence in relationships as a result of COVID lockdown, do you think that women committing violence against their male partners contributes to men's issues? And then
Jesus Christ. If you're a man, you can't take a fucking punch from a woman. Grow up. Grow up.
Hold on.
No, we do not condone.
Did you see the video on Twitter
we do not
where the girl like
No.
flying kicks
We do
the
not
guy?
stand.
No,
Dude,
we do not
men,
condone.
this is the thing about self-restraint,
Bro.
right? You need to know that you are the bigger, stronger sex generally, okay? That means that you do not hit your partner back when they hit on you. You have the power to move your woman and to restrain her, right? You could like just don't. And if she does hit you, fucking leave the room. What are you doing? You're the bigger, stronger sex.
Listen,
Move.
I've heard literally
Here's the
these
problem.
things.
We
I
live in the era where social media and everything's recorded.
Why are you? Why do you
What
guys?
the fuck,
It's like you
bro?
want men to be low T and bitchless on this panel. Why? Why?
What would you do?
Oh.
What would you do, men, if your woman was just like
No, I think what we should promote is, for one, we never want violence from either side.
Of course.
It is not okay to ever hit your men. Please don't, because some men, unfortunately.
okay, here's the problem. That's
Sure,
the
but the
problem.
threat of violence from female to male does not
understand
affect
what
your
you're
life
saying.
significantly.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna be the person that's gonna say,
Oh my god.
why aren't we gonna be honest and at least admit that people have tendencies to be like, when you're mad, do you not like get uncontrollable and say something that you might not want to say? That like, have you never had a moment like that?
This is okay.
Yes,
Let me clarify. Let me clarify my position. Obviously,
what are you
Mooncake,
what are you
Mooncake is saying
advocating?
is
No,
true.
hold on, wait, Lab. I want to know what is Seventh. What are you advocating for?
I'm not advocating for anything. I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not
She's
saying
saying nothing. She's been saying nothing this whole panel. Why even ask her a question? What Mooncake was saying is absolutely true. Violence is not okay towards a partner. But the threat at violence, the threat of violence does not affect men in any way from women. In any way.
I think mentally it will affect them, right? And emotionally,
No,
right?
it
Because if
won't.
these guys, well, no, if these guys were getting hit by their
Mentally,
girlfriend,
You are using
mentally
your female
fucking
brain. You are using your
deranged.
feminine
Like,
brain
you're
to
sitting
think
there
that
and you're saying
men
men
think
Okay,
like
okay,
this.
okay.
Men
One at a
do
time.
not think
Hey,
like
we
that.
gotta wait. Stop.
Mentally,
Stop.
women are
Stop.
deranged.
Stop.
Like,
Stop.
mentally, women
Stop.
are deranged.
Stop.
Like,
Stop.
Exhibit
women
A.
are
Oh
way
my God.
more
Exhibit A.
deranged than men mentally. Exhibit A, Lab, you're the exhibit. Because
Okay.
you're sitting there and you're saying, like, calmly, you're like, exhibit A, exhibit A.
Okay.
Like,
I want to have this conversation, but to have this conversation, we have to go one at a time, and I have to be able to hear what people are saying, and we can't do that when we're all yelling at each other. So for my benefit, please, I want to, Mooncake, I want to give you a chance to address Lav in
Yeah.
this. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Well, like Lav said, like she agrees kind of with what with what I'm saying. Like, never okay to put your hands on a guy, no matter what. Yeah, we all get angry. Sometimes we've all been pissed off. But still, I personally have never put my hands on it. Like, I just wouldn't do that. And like anybody, do not do that. Also, hitting men are not okay just because they're more masculine or because they're stronger. It does impact them. If they move on to another relationship, they might think that this is an
So,
expectation. I should be okay
let's
with a
not be
woman hitting
honest.
me.
You have something to
No,
say, Seven?
like,
Now's
hitting
your
people
chance.
is
Go
not
ahead.
okay. Hitting people is not okay. But
I'm saying
you also have
the
to be honest
question
about it.
the question that Wick asked was along the lines of whether or not that's like a something to consider when thinking about like men's problems. No, the threat of violence towards men from women should not affect them in any way. Obviously, it sucks to be hit, but that's not something that men have to contend with or deal with on an everyday basis in the way that
What?
women do have to deal with that.
Yes,
Okay,
it
but-
is. Because it can be framed against them.
What is
Okay.
happening?
Lab.
Are you serious? Like,
okay, just because. Okay,
ah!
hold on a second. Even if I were to believe that like domestic violence, okay, I can somewhat like without looking at any of the numbers, I can believe that like domestic violence, the majority is men towards women. That doesn't mean that we dismiss.
It's not even that it's not even the major. I wouldn't even go as far as to say it's the majority. I think that women are just as capable of being angry and losing control. But you are
Okay,
way less
so then
likely
why?
to die as a man or to be killed or to be considerably harmed
Sure.
from a woman hitting
Sure.
you.
Okay,
Sure,
but that
now
doesn't
you're
mean that
going
we
to
don't take it as
extremism.
seriously.
Now you're
We
going
don't
to
take it as
extremism. Now you're going to extremism. How many people have fucking died?
Girl.
Go. Like, no. You want to bring up extremism.
What about
So, like,
the
how many people
only-
have fucking died? Like,
No.
you're going to an extreme. You're going to an extreme. Yes. Like, that's a problem. But also being honest about it is also a problem.
Wick.
Is that not
Wick,
true?
I'm gonna beat you unless you do something about
Please
this.
don't. I would rather you not.
No, don't beat Wick.
I would rather no one put their hands on me in anger or frustration. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
like, honestly, like, why can't you just be honest?
I don't know
That's
who's lying. I'm,
Live,
I'm,
laugh,
I'm struggling
lie.
here. I'm really
I'm sorry.
struggling.
I'm so confused. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm also confused.
I want to.
I
I
don't
want
even know
to
where
have a
we are.
productive
That's a
conversation.
problem because women can just sit there and be like, "I'm confused." Ooh woo.
I'm
Do you
confused
wanna see my
too.
Okay, actually,
because
okay,
you
I
have
have a question.
confused
I
me.
have a
No,
question.
Like,
stop.
ooh, woo,
No, I'm gonna have to be
ooh,
a.
I'm
Look,
confused. You wanna
Seventh.
see my pussy?
Seventh.
Like,
I
that's the
did not hate
problem.
women before this panel. I did not hate women before
Democracy,
this
all in
panel.
favor
But
of
Seventh, you're
kicking-
doing your best. You're doing your best to change me, to radicalize me. Where's that red pill? I'm going to start listening to Andrew Tate now. I'm going to start listening to Andrew Tate. I'm going to change my whole
Do you
channel.
want to see my pussy?
What?
I did
Wait,
this.
Do you want to
who?
not? Do you not
Wait,
want
I did
to?
this? I
own
did
up
this?
to
Wasn't
that?
me.
Do you not want to own up to that?
Me?
Who do you have your fucking
Yes, because
Wait,
women
that's actually,
sit there
if
and
this is true, that's the
stupid.
funniest thing I've ever done. If that's true,
Yes.
that's the funniest thing
But
I've
I
ever
get
done.
it. I get it. If you're either promoting a Destiny point of view or you're promoting your
Oh,
OnlyFans,
no,
you're
not
Stop.
Destiny.
sitting there
What
Okay.
and
is
being like,
The
happening?
ghost
sitting
of
there and
Dustin
just
has
being like
entered
to
the
men,
room.
"Hey, do you want to see
Why?
my pussy?" It's so weird because women can just sit there at the end of a
Whoa.
conversation and not have anything intelligent to say, but just be like, sorry, ooh woo, do you want to see my pussy? It's so stupid.
Okay. Okay.
Wait,
Enough.
okay, wait.
Enough. This is gone. I didn't want to mute people.
Is that not true?
No one has
Is
ever.
that not true?
I have to pee.
I have to
She's
pee.
right.
Like, I
Guys,
have to
she's
pee.
right. Guys,
I'm a
she's
woman,
right.
so like, I
Left.
have to pee.
You don't need permission.
Guys,
I'm a
Okay,
woman. Ooh,
enough.
Seventh is
woo.
right.
I'm a woman. Ooh, woo. I'm a
There we go. Better. Okay. Now, with that done,
Oh my
Bro.
god.
mental reset. Let's take a minute. Take a beat. It sounds to me, and I'm convinced on this panel.
I am
Okay.
woman, hear me.
I'm convinced on this panel that men's problems are you all of you, especially her. Okay, especially now that I didn't believe this before. You couldn't have gotten me to. I'd be like, no, men have to take care of themselves. Moon, do you still believe that men are need to just help each other more when we have people like this in the world? Moon, can you honestly say that?
I don't know. Like, I don't want to. I've never met this person before, so I don't know if there's like a history that's being brought up or something that I'm just not aware of. Okay, so then I'm just probably not aware of whatever is happening. Um, Listen, this is my opinion, right? I was a big kind of supporter of Kevin Samuels, right? Because when Kevin Samuels spoke to men, he always kept it real. I don't care what anyone says. He always kept it real. And I genuinely think they could learn some important stuff from them about how to be a man. This is my personal opinion. I don't know.
What?
I don't know where this
Kevin
conversation.
Samuels died alone fucking like his girlfriend who like he didn't like or love, who was too young for him.
But that doesn't have anything to
Who
do
the
with
fuck
what
is
he was
Kevin
telling young men.
Samuels?
Yes,
Who
it
the
does.
fuck
First
is
of all, you
Kevin
lead by
Samuels?
example, number one, and two, he was giving awful advice to
I'm actually gonna piss. I don't know who
thousands
Kevin
of
Samuels is,
people.
but I'm
I
actually
don't
gonna piss.
think it's completely true. Like, I've seen some videos where he's telling men, go get a job, go shower, go back
This
to
is
school.
milk toast. This is milk toast. Yeah, obviously you tell men to get educated. This is like a
About, like,
bare fucking minimum.
But men would call in and he would explain to them how to level up. Like, he always kept it real.
He would
It
also
may have
tell
been
black
harsh,
women that they were too dark, too fat, had too many kids. He's a loser. He's a
So he told
loser.
them
He
they
died
were-
unmarried
but
with
here's the
cocaine
thing.
in his system.
What Kevin Samuels did, and if it pertains to the black community, maybe sometimes he said things that some might consider too harsh, but explaining to people like, hey,
Harsh.
maybe
It's misogynistic. It's out of touch.
I
He's
don't
like
think it's
black
completely.
old Andrew Tate.
I don't think it's completely out of touch. I saw a clip one time. She called in, had like 5 kids, a little over 200 and something pounds, right? Wasn't kind of keeping up to date, and she wanted someone, let's be honest, who was making over $500,000 a year. If we're just going to be real on the panel,
Good for
right? And
her.
job, but we're
Good
not
for
being
her. This is the problem. This is the problem, and this is why it is partially women's fault. I think why men are awful. It's because we are the sexual selectors in society, and we are enabling men, and then women are going to Kevin Samuels to get advice on how to be chosen by a man when you are supposed to choose. You are not supposed to settle for these stupid, dusty men. You're not supposed to, because
And
then
that's
you
what
breed with them,
Kevin
then you
Samuels
create
said
more.
too.
Again?
He also said that too, but also you shouldn't be trying to get whatever this guy is when you're not also bringing that to the table. Like, I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Like, if we're gonna be real, let's just be real about it. If you're not bringing certain aspects to the table, why should this person then pick you? Yeah, of course, don't pick
Why would
the worst
what
person
Kevin
out of the
Samuels
bunch.
should have said then is to be like, have a good group of friends. You don't need a man. You already have 5 kids. Try to either reconcile with the father of your kids, or
He did
It's
that as
like
well,
a
but Kevin
resume.
Samuels talked
It's
to
like
people.
a resume at that
People
point.
asked him for actual advice. They asked him what they should do in their personal life, and he kept it real. It may have been mean, but he was being honest.
yeah. And I mean, I don't even think it was honesty.
We're all lying on our resume.
Oh my god! Can you kick Seventh for the love of God? For the love of God! It's just gonna. Do you see this going anywhere with Seventh here? Do you see it going anywhere?
I mean, you get a lot of money when she's
Why?
here, but
What's
yeah.
the problem, Lab? You're not lying on your resume?
Lab, I actually have a question for you.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. So to go back to the domestic violence thing, okay? Do you think that it, like, to go back to what the super chat from earlier, do you think it's fine for women to even the playing field with like weapons or you know what, like would that make it on the same like level for you if there were to
with
be an
domestic
evening of the
violence.
Yeah, because it seems
Well, no.
like you don't.
I mean,
think
studies show that
there's-
when a woman carries, it is most likely going to be used against her. So unless we make women cyborgs with guns in their arms, I don't think so. I think that women should show restraint as well. I think that they should be having sex less with men who don't care about them. I think that we should live in a culture that values
destiny.
something like celibacy. Or safety, women's safety, more so than promoting this like sexual revolution idea to have sex with
How
men
are
who
you
don't
saying
care about
that?
you.
How are you saying that when you were a former Destiny sim? How are
Oh,
you
no,
saying
please,
that?
not
Okay,
I don't
Dustin again.
understand.
Seven-
No,
I
Dustin.
don't
Seven,
understand.
stop,
But I
stop.
don't
Seven,
understand. I
Seven,
personally, I don't understand.
if you
I'm
have
sorry,
beef,
but I'm gonna be the
if
person
you have
to tell
beef,
you the hard
if
truth
you have,
and say I don't understand.
if you have beef, right, with one of the panelists, that's fine. We can air that out at another occasion. I would love to have that happen. But for now, today, right now, in this discussion, what we're doing is we're talking, and Icebeans asked a very pertinent question, and I'm very curious as to what the answer and discussion is. But we can't have that discussion if every single time you try to call out laugh. Like, we just cannot have that discussion. So, you have a choice. You have just real quick, you have a choice, Seventh, right? You could stay, you could play nice. It's up to you. Okay. Go ahead. So, ask your question again, Icebeans.
Sorry.
Oh no, Moon, go
Moon,
ahead.
Moon.
No, I
Yeah.
was gonna say that maybe we could address this like later on, like that way she can get it out. Like if there's something she wants to get out. If,
But it's a
I don't know.
hypocritical statement. That's all that I'm saying. That's fine.
That's what I was just. But sorry, Icebeans, go ahead.
That's fine.
Oh.
We can talk about it later. We can talk about it off stream. It's totally fine. But it's a hypocritical statement.
What's
I-
hypocritical, Seventh? What's hypocritical?
Dude,
Let's
don't
get into
engage
it.
with it, or I can't
No,
stop
no.
it, Lav. Don't engage with it, or I
No.
can't stop it.
What
Either
else do we-
want to
like-
engage with it or you don't.
I don't. I'm flip-flopping, sorry.
Okay.
Typical Lav.
Okay.
Lav moment.
Icebeans, re-ask your
Lav.
question because it was a pertinent
Yes.
question, please.
Okay. So, like, the feeling I'm getting from you is that you don't actually, like, I mean, you more or less said, like, oh, can't a man take a punch, right? But the thing is that it's not just about whether the man dies as the result of a domestic violence thing, right? It's the fact that it's happening at all.
That's
And it's the
true.
fact
What
that-
she's
and it's
saying
the-
is true.
And the fact that
It's
it's
like
happening at
death
all,
or
and
nothing.
well, it can still have negative repercussions, right? Why wouldn't we address it just like we would a domestic violence against women?
The negative repercussions towards men from female offenders is rarely that deep. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit of anxiety.
Okay,
Sometimes
can we
Okay,
use,
so if I took
let's use a different example.
No,
Let's talk about
yeah.
Steven Crowder.
let her
Steven
answer the
Crowder.
question.
Steven
Oh my
Crowder.
God.
Can we not talk about stream and Steven Crowder?
Oh
So if I
Seventh,
took
you have one more chance.
my god.
Watch it.
One more chance.
yeah, well,
Then we won't go on our date if you don't behave.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Wait.
Okay,
Okay, listen. If I took
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
go ahead.
no, okay, look, if I took a box cutter to my husband, it's the same fucking
Wait,
negative
why box
Wait,
cutter?
that's
Why box cutter?
threat? Wait, a threat
let's
like
talk about the
of killing
box
someone
cutter. Why
is
box
different than just
cutter?
normal
Why
domestic violence.
box
It's the
cutter?
same
Because here's
thing.
the problem.
It's the
Women
same thing.
very rarely threaten to kill their partners in that way.
Okay. It doesn't. I'm not talking about killing. I'm talking about hurting. I'm
Wait,
talking about
what's
domestic
your-
violence.
what's your
Well, that's a
username?
threat. That's a threat of death.
Icebeans.
Okay.
Icebeans.
If we're-
What if I
if we're
told
talking
you
about
that
something like a
man
hit.
lied about me attacking
Seven.
somebody with a box cutter?
I'm sorry.
What if I told you that?
Oh my god. I think I'm an anti-feminist now.
I
think I hate
have
women.
I have been
Wait.
I just I don't know what to do.
I was curious what she was. I actually wanted to break down what was going on. I'm sorry, I might be the only one, but I actually wanted to break down.
I
what
think
was
she is.
happening
I
there.
think she is severely inebriated, and you did the right thing, Wick. That was not good.
I tried
And I don't think
my best, but I want to keep people on as much as possible. But there comes a point where look. It was fun for a little bit. Oh, I'll say that. Okay. That said, we could bring her
Jeez
back when she
Louise.
calms down a little bit, maybe.
No.
But for now, that is a good question that Icebeans asked, right? Like, it doesn't have to lead to the most severe consequences. I think the consequences about when it comes to domestic abuse towards men, it manifests differently. It doesn't manifest usually in a black eye. What it manifests in, and I will be clear, is this emasculation, right? I think that a lot of women, they don't abuse their spouses or significant others in physical ways, but by gaslighting them, by emotional abuse, all these things. And I am reticent to dismiss that as nothing, right? I'm reticent to dismiss that as just, oh, men can just get over it. I think that's largely, if I had to have my opinion here, that's a part of the problem. So
This is what you can do as a man to avoid disaster. You can go to the gym. You can higher your testosterone levels. You can build up your body so that you are strong enough to protect yourself from other men, from women, right? Or to restrain women if they potentially harm you. These are ways that you could help yourself.
Okay, but I think the problem is that you like just like with everything else, there are variations, right? Like you have women who are physically bigger than their male partner.
Of course, and that would be
Like,
different, but
so-
that is generally what's not going to happen. If you want to sit here and talk about a fringe case or individual cases of men or women, why are we having a debate?
No, I'm not saying that we shouldn't no, I'm not saying let's only focus on the fringe things. I just don't
That is
understand
fringe.
why we're even why even bother diminishing the importance of one thing and like only holding up like the other.
What do you mean?
Why wouldn't we treat domestic violence the same way, whether it happens to men or
Because
women?
it's different. It's different.
Okay. Yes, it's different in how and why.
I know that
And the
there's this new
outcomes,
leftist
okay?
push to blur the edges between male and female and to say everything is the same and
not
how we treat
talking
each
about
other
that.
should be the
I'm
exact
not
same.
talking-
I mean,
I'm
that's
not
what this
talking
stems
about
from.
that.
That's what this stems from. It's ridiculous.
I'm not
Obviously,
talking
when
about
there is
that.
violence against women, it is different than violence against men propagated by women. It's obvious.
It may be different in how it happens and why it happens. That doesn't mean that we have to treat it differently.
Yeah.
Why
What do
would
you
we
mean?
treat it different?
Also-
Okay, you're literally saying your literal approach was essentially diminishing it. Like, oh, you should be able to take a punch from your woman.
Yeah,
Why is that okay?
because you're a man.
Does that make him more masculine?
Do you
Does a
mean
man
No.
taking a punch make him more masculine to you?
No, maybe bitching about it afterwards and being like, "I'm traumatized by my tiny wife hitting me." Yeah, that makes you less masculine.
Okay, so then basically by that logic, any weaker person in the relationship, that should be the person who gets like the benefit of the doubt.
If you are the stronger, bigger person in the relationship, you should use that power for good, and you should restrain the partner or leave the
about-
room.
What about gay
Or-
men then?
What do you mean? What
So
about gay men?
If you're in like a gay relationship, and your partner hits you, right?
Mhm.
Should the smaller gay man just like take it? Or are they supposed to still be masculine? I'm just curious.
I'm not saying be masculine or else like you're like a sissy. I'm saying like I'm sorry. Have either of you even met a man that is traumatized because their wife beat them?
Yes, actually.
Okay, well then
Yeah.
It comes out in a lot of fucking ways, right? Including like having issues with relationships in the future.
Yep. Emotional issues, attaching to other people.
Like I just don't get why we would treat assault like any differently.
Yeah, differently. I don't understand it either, honestly, because
I mean,
when we worry about PTSD for men as well, like they can experience that 100%.
men have gone to war for fucking centuries. You're worried about your tiny wife hitting you? Come the fuck on. I like am not even gonna do this.
Well,
It's
so like,
ridiculous.
have you? Oh, okay.
You don't have to engage.
Like I don't know. Like, have you not seen any documentaries?
Are
of
we
women
worried?
actually
Are we worried
doing
about PTSD from the time that your wife hit you? Like, come on.
Yes, fucking yes. Because
This is so no. This
what
is
do you
why.
think? Okay,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
the problem.
Do you
This is
know
the
any
problem
men
with like
PTSD?
liberal
Do you know,
over
I'm
education.
sorry. Do you know any any men with PTSD?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know men who went to war.
Okay, and how do you think that comes out in their lives? I just want to know.
They drink mostly.
Okay, and what else?
They drink.
Oh, just drink. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
also,
just drink.
they don't
Yeah.
mean healthy relationships, men are also less likely to get, I think it's like cancer diagnosis, right? They're less likely to go to the doctor because they worry about problems like this. They're less likely to talk about their mental health. And then when you just dumb it down as, well, they should be a man.
Okay, this is the problem. You are prescribing a feminine prescription to men. They don't think,
is
they
not
don't, I'm
feminine.
telling
This
you,
isn't
Oh,
feminine.
let
or
Lav finish.
masculine.
Let Lav finish.
they
Lav,
do
go.
not, they do not think in mental illnesses and psychosis and neuroses like women do. That is our beauty. That is our strength. That is why we're a different sex. We think differently, right? A good prescription, less men should go to therapy. More men should work out, should find challenging jobs, should do all these things.
Bro.
Is this real? Sorry, I don't know. Am I
Yes,
getting
this
trolled?
is fucking real.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know if I was getting
No,
trolled or
this is
not.
This is
This
it's
is
so
her
it's so like
position.
fucked up to debate people who like haven't read the same 𝕼 psych as you. Like I don't even know what to fucking say.
Okay, that's the other
I
thing.
don't-
I'm sorry.
sorry,
Why are we relying on Evo Psych?
Yeah,
Isn't this
can
a
we-
thing? Isn't this something that's been fucking debunked?
No.
Hello?
Can we step away
No.
from the evil? I hate when this comes up. Please, I don't want to dive into the whole evil psych. I literally think it's just common sense, and it's not feminine or masculine to say, hey, this could affect somebody. It doesn't have to be a woman or a man. We should take steps that, if this does affect them, to help them. Mental health isn't inherently feminine. This is
I'm
why
not
men
saying
who
it's
do struggle with
No,
depression.
but you did. You said less men should go to
Yeah.
therapy. Why?
No,
because it makes
because
them less
men-
masculine.
Because for certain people, just sitting and talking about your problems and ruminating on your problems and explicating your problems and thinking about them constantly isn't good for you. It's not
Oh
good
my
for
God,
you.
No.
So
It's
you
the
don't think
anti-therapy
talking
arc,
to
like,
a
what?
professional
This is an
is not good for
anti-therapy
you?
arc. I think that this is really
Then
good
what
for like
is it?
more neurotic people. I think it's especially very good for women who
Okay.
need to who implode, right? More than explode.
Bro.
You're
Okay.
you're laughing like I'm not saying something that's like completely
Okay.
normal.
Let me ask.
I'm-
No,
you seem to have-
hold
you
on.
seem to
Stop.
have
Stop.
a-
I
yeah,
do
go
have
ahead.
a real quick question because we're talking about this. Have you ever hit your partner, Lav?
What are you, a fed?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know?
Okay, fair enough. If you don't want to, but I'm wondering if we know, and the reason I ask is, do we have
How else do you get them to listen?
personal personal experience with the results of this, or are we going off of just things we read online? Right?
My
Because I've
parents
known
used to beat the
people.
shit out of each other.
How'd that work out?
They're divorced, but my dad's fucking fine. He's fine. He's remarried to a wonderful woman, and my mom is a fucking psychopath.
Fair enough.
Oh my God.
The effects of my dad
I don't know if that's
beating
a
my
good
mother were
thing.
way worse on her than the effects of her beating my dad. Immeasurably so.
I don't.
Okay,
And
my
you're
dad
gonna
was
sit
beat-
here
my-
and
my
you're gonna
dad was
sit here
beat
with
by his
common
dad.
sense and say that domestic violence affects men the same way it does women. You are fucking lying
It.
for some liberal agenda.
Oh my God.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, sorry. Icebeans, I don't
Yeah,
mean
go
to
ahead.
cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
This idea of like a liberal agenda, I genuinely don't understand this like how we arrive there. I'm not saying that the implications of domestic violence is going to be the same across the board, but just to deny that a man that does get beat up by his wife or a partner or whoever, that this won't impact him mentally and emotionally and could lead down to, as you said, drinking. What happens if you drink too much? You get cirrhosis of the liver, right? They may die quicker. These are things we should consider about
Life
men and
happens,
help them
death
through.
happens. Then you weren't strong enough to kick it. Gene pull out.
Fucking really. No, it's not just like.
This is
Okay.
Bro, okay.
Can I ask, just to kind
Survival
of
of the
redirect this a little
fittest,
bit,
baby.
just to
Uh-huh.
redirect this a little bit, right? Because there is a big difference between how you see these things, right? So Lav, you mentioned that we give too many feminine solutions to men, like as you're asserting therapy, etc. So what is the solution for men then? If not therapy, how do...
I think therapy can be a great tool, but therapy looks different for men than it does for women. We are culturally
Okay,
different.
explain
We are psychologically different. I think for men, a lot of men see a lot more progress in something like eating better and having a healthy gym regimen, having a lot of male friends, doing activities like running or hunting
Okay,
or
let me be more
fishing,
clear.
something more meditative.
Sure, let me be more clear. After this
Uh-huh.
panel, I'm going to seek out therapy. I need a therapist because you guys have
Yeah, good
broken me
idea.
in a very, very real
Very
way.
good idea.
When I go to that therapist, right, and I sit down to talk to them, what should that therapist in your mind be telling me to fix what you all have broken within me?
Well, here's the thing. I think if you ask any therapist, just to bring it back a little bit, if you ask any therapist if there's a difference between how they talk to and help their male clients and their female clients, they're going to tell you absolutely yes, there is. Any good therapist will tell you this. Most therapists will tell you this in general. What a therapist should tell a man is to get your life in order, is to get your life together, right? Maybe, obviously, if anyone's hitting you, leave the relationship. Also, if anyone's hitting you, your therapist should be telling you to leave the relationship.
That's also true. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, like let me say that I'm not like a proponent of abusing your partner. I don't think anyone should hit their fucking partners. I already said that. Obviously, that's true. I'm just saying, because I was on that one point, that one question that was asked, even though it was extrapolated, the one question that was asked, that does it affect men the same way? Obviously not, it doesn't. Obviously, no, it doesn't.
Well, let me ask it this way then. So, because again, as you assert, men are more inured. They're less susceptible to that kind of attack by women. Fair enough. But then, what are men particularly weak to that you find that women are stronger at? And this is a question to all of you. What do you think women have a easier time getting over or dealing with that men,
Restraint.
for whatever reason, just can't handle?
Restraint. Obviously, men are become very obsessive. I think that men don't know when to stop drinking. They don't know when to stop gambling. Know when to stop fighting. Know when to stop fucking. And that's a big weakness I think that men have.
Mooncake, you want to go first?
Oh,
next?
I was gonna say maybe rejection. I think for some reason for men it's harder to be rejected, and that doesn't always mean romantically. That can mean like through awards, like sports, just in like daily life, like so missing those what do you call it? Like those milestones, right? Important milestones in their life that they feel like they've missed. I think that's where they struggle.
I'm kind of gonna go with the obvious answer and say that like men don't tend to have as robust support systems, and by that I mean like I feel like this is maybe just me going off of the men in my life, but like I feel like the men in my life have just like a couple of really good friends, and they confide to them like a lot of things, but even those friends, they aren't able to express everything that they need to. As a really quick example, my husband's best friend for the longest time would not tell him what his wife was sick with. Wouldn't like open up about that because he was so terrified, and just like he was just holding that in. Versus women, we'd tell that shit like immediately. We'd say, yeah, I have thyroid cancer. Like I have Crohn's disease.
I can't confirm the amount of women who have come up to me like, and I don't even know you, right? I remember very clearly meeting one of my friend's new girlfriend for the first time, right? And we all went to Cheddar's to eat.
Can we bring Seventh back? That's it. I'm so curious to get her in on the conversation. I'm curious if she'll actually like be a part of it. I would like to have her back.
I'll go with Wick on this one.
Don't be a coward. I got one yes,
no,
one
why
no.
would we do that? I think
Why?
it would be. Hold on. I think it would be inappropriate because she's clearly inebriated. I do not think that we should bring her back. Yes, she's severely drunk. Why would we do that? Come on.
Okay.
Practice
Mooncake,
a little ethical practice in streaming. Okay, I know that you want a little lolcow.
I feel
but
like
please.
we actually got through.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, hold on. Mooncake. I feel like because we actually got through a couple of topics, and they didn't get derailed into Destiny bad, I feel like maybe we want to continue that. But
tell you
what,
we'll bring her back for Collins. How's that?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay.
Then
I'm
you
down
get
with
what
that.
you
So
want.
we got about 20 more minutes of this topic. I guess how we discuss this all the time. I see these conversations all the time. Men and women, right? It's kind of like an evergreen topic because people are always interested in it. People always have opinions on it. People are always willing to express their opinions on it, and people are always willing to argue about it. In what ways do these conversations you feel fail us, both men and women both, right? what are we talking about that we shouldn't be, or what do we not talk about that we absolutely should? Go ahead. Not all at once, gang. If we're
Actually,
too
I had to chew
silent,
on
I'll
that
bring
one, I
on
love it.
Seventh early. I'll use it as a threat. Okay. Go ahead.
No, come on, Dad, you can't do this
Yeah.
one.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so your question was, what could we be talking about that we don't?
Yeah. How do these conversations fail us? Is the question.
Well, apart from the obvious, like, it's kind of all done for spectacle, and yes, women bad. Apart from that, I think that what we could be talking about more is really focusing on where the average guy wants to go with his life. Like, what does he actually want, right? He wants, like, I'm just speaking of my experience, but like a family, a good job, things like that. I think that we could be talking about what you need in order to get those things and also keep those things and just make healthy connections with your family, with your partner, with your children. Like, I think we could be talking about these a little bit more. I feel like a lot of times we'll focus on what men don't have in that sense. Like, they can't get girls, they can't make money, and that's obviously a problem for a lot of young men. But I feel like more effort has to be put into maintaining those relationships that you do have. I don't know. It's kind of my answer for that one.
No, so fair enough. What do you think, Lav? Why are these conversations not getting us anywhere?
Well, I think these conversations are getting us somewhere. Maybe not like online, but I think in individual lives, like I mean, I have a great man. I have a great life. Like, I know, like,
What makes
the
him
advice.
different? Let me ask. Maybe we can use this as a way to kind of get to the truth here. What makes your man, like? What about his life was different that made him the way he is? That isn't shown or done or experienced by the vast majority of others.
He had extremely present parents who devoted their lives to service. And so his first jobs growing up were working with people with intellectual disabilities, seniors, stuff like that. He was shown, hard work and sacrifice at a very young age. He was given values. Away from social media. He's not very present on social media. He's not been tainted by that. He's very old world. He's very hardworking. He's very generous. I mean, if I could literally bottle him and sell it, I would. If I could give everyone a share of my man, I would. But yeah, something like stuff like that. I think that we value things. This is what I love about the Catholics, is how self-sacrificial they is. This is what I love about religious people, is that they spend so much time giving back to communities who need it. In most of you grow up with that virtue inside of you, and I think that now that we've moved towards like a more secular society, we've like lost it, and I think that sucks. I think that we should teach men how to give back. We should teach women how to give back, and I think that we're going to be more well-rounded. I mean, pretty milquetoast take, but
Mooncake, thoughts?
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat the question? I got distracted by something. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wait, come on, no.
I did. I got distracted.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just making notes for next week's panel. Okay. Maybe I'll have a guest host so I can go off on a few things. My question was, in what ways does this conversation fail us?
Like the conversation about what men...
about men and women, like gender conversations about men's issues, women's issues, etc. In what ways is this conversation that we are having, right, in general, across the internet, failing us?
I think it causes a rift, really, between men and women, especially when we don't attempt to even understand each other. And I think that's where these conversations tend to lead to. And I notice, especially, we tend to not take men's issues very seriously, right? We kind of laugh about them, dust them under the thing, and tell them to move on. And I do see that a lot. And it makes these conversations harder to have. And then you do have people who will just meme, right? And it makes it worse. And so, yeah, that's just basically what I think is wrong.
Okay, that's fair. Gang, this has been a discussion. I wanted to give a chance for an outro for each of these lovely individuals. I don't know if we solved anything today, but then we're going to open up into call-ins, and we'll take one at a time, and we'll see how that goes. So I will be reading the super chats as well. Let me actually do that, and then we'll get to the what's it called, the conclusions. Sorry, my brain's broken. Okay. $5 from Adarius. This panel proves my point. See who's capable and who's not. $5. Hey, Lab, if you say that men should exercise physical restraint with women, shouldn't women exercise emotional restraint and not lash out? $5 from Mirutsi. I now hate women more after listening to this, and I am one. $2 from Adarius. After I read the title, you knew I was coming. The Empowered Man for $5. Ratings. Beans is a 2. Next to a 2. Next to a 2. Wick is a 3. All no value vaginas.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah. $5.
You're getting lumped in with the rest of
for
us.
Zephyr
Now we
Hash.
know who should be a eunuch.
Yeah.
Obviously, this person should not breed.
Oh my god.
$5 from
Thank
Zephyr
you.
Hash. I see you, Wick, you fiend, smiling in the bottom corner, collecting our money. I will have my revenge. More donations, more revenge. Money is corruption, and if you want me to live my worst life, just give me more of it. $2 from Adarius. You want to know what I believe? $5 for Infallible Foul. It's weird to celebrate an abuse victim making excuses for their spouses who's apparently brainwashed them into thinking women are the real problem. $2 from Hasroda. Who makes the best box cutter? $2 from Blue H. DeWalt. Nico for $2. Wick, is this going as good as you expected? No. $2. Zephyr Hash says, Lab makes me miss Seventh. $5 from Zephyr
No.
Hash. Thank you, Wick. Finally, I know what's wrong with me.
Well, you won't have to miss her for much longer. She's coming back.
I should let my partner hit me, watch less porn, ignore therapy, and work out. $5.
Holy shit, yes!
$5?
So great!
$5 from Lawson Harrison. I agree with the sentiment of what Lav is saying, but it needs a light sugar coating and a dash of nuance. Well, come on in and talk to us about it, Lawson. $5 from Superpower Sensei. When, if ever, does a man's emotional needs come before a woman's? When they're my needs and the needs of the women oppose mine. $2 from Saxon. Mods supporting toss of chat violators are real bad for business. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, and with that, we'll open her. We have a line, gang. We have a line.
I can see that.
Oh, I imagine that we do have a line.
He's the kid that covers that shit.
Okay.
Hello?
Seventh.
Oh shit.
You're not Seventh, so whoever this is, go away. We want Seventh back. You've done your penance. You've done your time, and we are opening
I have
up
to
for
pee.
callers.
I have to pee quickly.
Okay.
Okay, go pee real quick. I'll bring on the first caller. Don't click the join voice button. Just
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
a lot. Let's.
that was
bring 'em
definitely
on.
something.
Okay. I'm not sure the order of appearance here. I'll do my best to go in the order which I saw you coming in, and we will do our best here. Okay. Oh, if you have a camera, turn it on, please. Hammer, what you got?
Hello. Oh, hey. Sorry, we were in the. Oh shit. Yes.
Can I join?
Okay.
back or no?
I really want
We're
to.
here,
Wait.
Seventh.
Yeah,
I
Seventh.
really
Oh my god.
I really
We're
wanted
live.
to talk to Lav. I was actually fighting with Seventh, but okay. I really wanted to talk to Lav. So when she comes back. Okay. Are we ready? So Lav, I have a question. So you're a feminist, but you also said that men should be like more masculine. That's a big problem with men, is that they're not masculine enough. A question that I've been wanting to ask is like, if men nowadays in modern relationships were to be more masculine, what would be the reward? What would be the beneficial aspects of masculinity that they could take on like reasonably nowadays?
You're
Your
muted.
mic's not. You're muted.
Thank you. That was embarrassing. So one, I'm not like a lib fem. I'm not like a liberal feminist who's like retarded. I try to take into account like biology and generalizations that we have shown, you know, that's been shown to us statistically and whatever. So I know that. So wait, that's half the question. The other half of the question was, what are ways that men can do what?
So, if men were to act more masculine, what would be the benefits for them? Not for women, but just for them. Like,
well, I mean, partly one, you want. I think I can hear myself, and someone it's
Seventh. Your mic's picking up.
yeah, someone's hot micing, and it's giving me autism. Sorry, I'm actually retarded. Hold on. Firstly, I think if the greatest goal that any man and any woman can have is to settle down with your wife or husband and to have children and to have a successful, simple life, I think. So if you are giving your part, if you're being the masculine in the relationship, if you're providing...
Saying that. How are you saying that when you've
if you're providing
your destiny and OnlyFans? Please, I'm not trying
to
argue.
Are you a broken record?
I just came back. I'm not trying to argue with you. Please tell me.
I do not have an OnlyFans. I did not fuck Destiny. I don't know what you want, Seventh. I don't know what you want from me.
I would really like my question to be answered a little bit more.
So yeah. When you are functioning as your most masculine, providing, being a strength, a pillar for your family, then you will have a woman who, and I'm not into the whole submission to man thing. I think that that's retarded. I think that we have equal dominion over the earth. So there should be honoring of masculine traits just as there should be about feminine traits. Women have incredible intuition. Men have great leadership skills. These things should mold together and create a beautiful partnership more so than you being taken over by your partner, man or woman. So yeah, I think mostly if you're in your masculine, you're going to attract someone who is, the best of their feminine qualities, going to create a life for you, going to handle the domestics, going to, do things like that. And I don't think that's always male female specific. I think that obviously you can be the feminine in the relationship, and the woman could be the masculine. But I think generally it usually is. Sex and gender.
Does that answer your question? We got a line, so I want to.
No. Okay. I just want to say one thing. Like, I don't know if any of you know 𝕵𝖎, but he said something where like the most annoying thing about feminism is like nowadays it's like they want to basically give women more rights but not more responsibilities. So like, or they want all the good shit basically. So like, I could name a million things that are really cool about being feminine, right? A lot of feminine roles that give you material benefits, like safety, like protection, like men will provide for you, men will give you attention, all these things. Men will literally pay for you for your dates and buy you gifts, right? Sure. And I can also name really cool masculine things that you can get as a man if you're to live in your masculine. But like a lot of those things are like dominance or like achieving high things. Like if men were to like really take on living in their masculine, they would probably make more money overall. Like it would increase the wage gap. More men would be in Congress. Things that people complain about, people say are awful.
I think naturally, if women didn't have to work, less women would work. I think that if they felt that they were in relationships where their partner would take care of them and they didn't have to worry about money, I think women entering the workforce, pretty substantially bad for both sexes. It made it so that we couldn't make as much money. We couldn't parent our children. I don't think it's anti-feminist to bring this up. I think it's I think part of being a feminist is acknowledging truth about being female, and I think that people have tried to. I would call myself a primalist feminist. How about that? A materialist primalist feminist. But yeah, I don't. This whole the new feminism.
I don't understand.
Sorry, how is that feminist?
I really don't understand.
We live in a. Hold on, Hammer.
Okay.
You are existing in a feminist. You are existing in a feminism that wants to make women more like men. That's not for women. Nothing. There's feminists have this new feminist movement
That's
has
the most
lied.
man-like feminist that I can define your Twitch world.
this
Wait.
this new feminist era of like third wave or feminist like girl boss feminism has completely detached women from their natural nature. It's given them things like the sexual revolution that's done nothing but harm to
Okay,
women.
hold on a second. We
Well,
live in a
Lady
reality where
Cinderella was a
people
bitch
we
to
need to
Austin?
okay, hold on.
I'm sorry, but you're sitting there and you're being a bitch to somebody.
Enough.
We live in a reality where we
Okay.
need two incomes
I'm-
usually
yeah.
in
I
order
said
to be
my
able to
piece.
survive.
Yes, and why do you think that is?
What do you mean? Why do you think that is? Is it
Part
because we
of
give
why that
women
is
the right
because
to
women
work?
joined the workforce.
Oh my
No, it's not
fucking
because
God,
it's not
no.
because of
This cannot
giving
be
women the
serious.
right to
This
work. It's
cannot
not
be
Wait,
serious,
wait.
women should
bro.
obviously have
Last
the
question.
right to work.
This is
You're
not
Last question.
completely
What
Wait,
would you like
you're
to
not
do?
engaging with what
Okay.
I'm saying
Deep
because
sea
Let's,
water.
hold on.
Deep-sea
Hold on.
water.
Currently ridiculous on Facebook.
Hold on. Moon?
if you
I don't have
disagree
to
with what I
accept this
just said,
premise. I don't have to accept it.
okay, then you
We
just are not
living-
well read.
Women,
I don't know what to
okay,
say.
oh,
fine.
women to be able to be
Yes, I
women and
haven't
be
read
like
theory.
honest about it.
Okay, that
I
doesn't
just
mean that
I have a
can't.
question.
Yes,
Go ahead, Moon.
This is to
Why?
Lev. Sorry, Lev. Do you? I'm assuming you would,
wrong?
but do you know why women began entering the workforce?
Yeah,
Okay, why? Sorry,
because
just to
they
make sure I'm-
wanted to live independently.
No, that's not inherently true. During World War I, what happened when they sent all the men away? They started putting women in the factories because they needed stuff to get done, right?
Sure.
So women realized they had to be there to provide for their family because all the men were leaving. What
Sure.
that indicated now was like more education, more money for the household. The cost of living was going up. During World War I is also when they introduced the first income tax, at least for Canada. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the same for America. This was going to affect men, and then with all the men that died, women had to work. There was no choice. Like they literally had to work. So this idea that it was bad for society, no,
I
like,
didn't even
we're
say
on
that
a
it was
weird-
bad for society. I said it was consequential. There were obviously
I honestly
consequences
feel
of
like
women
that's
joining the
the point
workforce.
that we've
Some of them
gotten
are
to.
good, some of them are bad.
And then also the women have to work thing is where you get into the OnlyFans thing. And you're
Okay.
like, women want to take back their sexuality
got-
and they want to
you
be
got,
like,
like,
I'm
one
the
note.
We need a
powerful
big
one.
keep
card.
playing
We need a
it.
seventh bingo card.
Powerful one.
Okay.
I'm the power. Okay.
Mooncake, you wanted this. This is your fault. I'm blaming you. Goat, welcome. I wanted to get our new
Hello.
caller in. Goat, do you have a question for the
Hi,
panel?
everybody. Okay.
Oh, you have little
so-
rats?
Yeah, are those
Yeah.
rats? Oh,
Cute.
very cool. Okay, go ahead.
How'd you know?
I have the same cage right here.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You see, yeah, you see the hammock. Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
Rat
Okay.
Utopia.
I love it.
Okay. So basically, I wanted to talk about how I think you asked the question, Wick, of like how do these conversation like kind of hurt women or like stop the progress of women.
Yes.
Okay, and I wanted to say how exactly is it happening. Okay, so basically I think we there's like you don't distinguish between men who talk about their struggle, okay, or their problems as a cry for help, okay, and out of real concern of an actual issue they have, and men who use these arguments as an attack on women, okay, believing that like their problem is not like okay, believing that they're like keep talking about their problems in a woman's panel is kind of, I gotta say, the subjects you talk about are not that different from the last panel, and that's a problem, okay, because you keep getting into these conversations that get you nowhere, okay. Being toxic towards men is insane. It's counterproductive. They're just getting antagonized.
Who on here has been the most toxic towards men in your opinion?
Well, I think the answer is obvious. No.
No, I'm very curious.
Yeah, you're painting yourself.
Like I think we have okay, it's a bit obvious. So yeah, okay, so like the thing is,
well, now
yes,
you have
we
a hold
to,
on, Goat. You
wait,
have
wait,
a panel. You have a panel that you can ask them. What question should I have asked that I didn't? Ask them now.
Okay. What do you think?
As a man,
what
do
do
you
you
hate
think?
your race?
What do you think is the problem with the current conversation, besides the getting into the specific drama of streamers?
What do I think is the current problem with the
No, what does Icebeans and Mooncake and 𝕬𝖎 and Sevinth, what do you think the problem is with this conversation?
I mean, I kind of brought it up before. I mean, like in a way, this kind of conversation, it because of the spectacle, it does mean that it's not as productive as it could be, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that no one, in a way, no one's gonna go and sit down and watch like an actual measured take on it, unless it's like something that you're known for. And then later the person finds you on your own channel. Okay, I know this person talks about men's issues, and then they go and they listen and they engage in more productive conversations. So this kind of conversation can only go so far, right? Like it can't really really bring out the deeper issues, right? It kind of
like
has to
women's
be.
discourse can't be all about, like, women's right discourse, like the main talk can't be about men's problems. That's insane.
Don't
we need
worry.
to talk about women's problems.
We will get to that.
That's so crazy. Stop talking about what their problems are. And
how do you feel during
wait,
a
that
period?
being said, okay, we need to acknowledge them. Okay, we can't deny them. They're there. But still, this cannot become the main talking
Women
point
go
of
insane.
women's rights.
Women go
It's insane.
insane. For 1 week of the month, the moon fucking infects your
And,
brain.
taking old stereotypes is also insane, because it's like it's undoing the progress we made. Okay.
Go. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, and we'll see you later. Okay.
Go DM me later.
Okay.
This is. I don't.
Yeah, it's a lot, gang.
Oh, I think one thing also is that there's a problem with the sexes trying to understand each other or create prescriptions for each other in a way that would work for like women. And the way that you give your girlfriend advice, you just cannot give to a man. You just can't. So even having a panel full of women trying to prescribe how to fix masculine problems, which we've never experienced, and we only understand in the capacity of being female and experiencing it, and vice versa, I don't think is going to be very productive. I think that we should respect and honor our differences and give advice based on that, which is what I've tried to do in this situation. Obviously, you just wouldn't prescribe men to like go to therapy in the same way that you would prescribe a woman to. You would not. It's just fundamentally different.
Speaking of fundamentally different, Seattle, you're up. You're live. You got a question.
Hey, very different.
And gang, I know a lot of you are asking, how can I get on this? You hit that exclamation point Discord, you click the link, you accept the rules, you jump backstage, and we'll get to you when we get to you. We're gonna go quick though, because the line is bigger than the panel. But go ahead.
Quick opinions. I want to hear Icebeans, Mooncake, Sevinth, and then 𝕬𝖎. What do you think about prenuptial agreements? Are you going to sign something, a legally binding document, because we're all in this no-fault divorce state, most of the states? Are you going to sign something that matches your principles?
Icebeans, would you sign a prenup?
Wait. Can you clarify what you mean by like matching your principles? I didn't.
Oh well, just the thing. No, it's that simple. Like these things that you're advocating for, like it's okay for women to be the breadwinner and for the man to be stay at home. Are you going to sign something?
Yeah, I think if there's like a huge imbalance, right? Then yeah, I would not have a problem with that. Like, if there was a huge imbalance of like financials, if I was making significantly more money than him, yeah, sure, why not?
Mooncake, prenup or no? We're gonna go lightning round on this.
Actually, I just had a conversation with a friend about this. They were getting married. I am 100% for prenups. I always tell people this. Marriage is a contract. Before you get married, if any of you own like property, divvy that up before you get married. Put it in a prenup, because I know no one wants to get divorced, but people do. And if they do get divorced, you want to keep what's yours. 100% prenup. Yeah.
Prenup. Sevinth. Prenup or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say my dog is the most important thing that I've ever entrusted to myself or another person, because it's the thing that I've like raised to be part of me. So yes, I would say that prenups are a thing, and I entrust my dog to the person. She walked over here. that is going to be my other person in a relationship.
Okay, that's a interesting thing to may have a prenup for, but hey, if it's important, it's important. Last but not least, Lav. Prenup? No? Yes?
Yeah, I think that prenups are incredibly important. Obviously, from the position of the man, especially in a world like Miami or LA, where someone could be trying to take all of your money. But also, I think they're extremely advantageous to women. I think if you have children, a man's children, without having a prenuptial agreement, especially if you're a stay-at-home wife and you're having children, you're raising these kids through most of your 20s or your 30s in your fertile years, and then potentially you get divorced and cannot don't have the same sexual viability that you did once before. It's a great way to ensure your future and prepare for the second half of your life.
Okay.
Awesome.
Soyaddle, thank you for coming on.
Yep. I want to propose that 𝕾𝖍𝖎 comes in next. There's some spicy stuff. Go.
I will decide who gets it. He won't tell me what to do. We're gonna bring on someone else before
What's
we're
your
gonna bring
spicy link? Yo, you got a spicy link quick?
Do you want 𝕾𝖍𝖎 in now?
I don't care.
I like 𝕾𝖍𝖎. 𝕾𝖍𝖎's cool.
Okay.
Hey, 𝕾𝖍𝖎.
𝕾𝖍𝖎, you're live.
Well. How are you doing today? I got some questions. Once I get my camera on. Here. I got a question. How is anybody going to sit and call out 𝕬𝖏 for being hypocritical and talk about their OnlyFans when you have had a fansly on OnlyFans and you're lying about your open assault charges and open warrants that you have? Seventh. Let's talk about.
What are you even talking about? I don't have anything open, but
Literally,
I do have an open problem. I have an open problem with you inviting me and my boyfriend. I have an open problem with you
literally
inviting me and my boyfriend to
somebody at my house.
a party where your friend Molly, your friend Molly tried to sexually assault my boyfriend. Your friend Molly tried to sexually assault my boyfriend.
And you
Here's the problem, 𝕾𝖍𝖎.
When you attacked her, when she sat down, and you attacked her, because you had a manic episode. When you attacked her, and you had a manic episode. Is that what happened?
Did your friend Molly not or try to sexually assault my boyfriend at your fucking barbecue?
No,
did your friend Molly not try to sexually
you had a mental breakdown.
Okay, I'm throwing a flag on this. I don't know. Stop.
You want to call her 𝕾𝖍𝖎?
I will mute both. I will mute you. And I will mute you. And we're going to I don't know if this is the proper place for this, right? Second of all, we got to go one at a time because y'all are bringing in shit I don't know anything about. I'm going to be real with you. So, 𝕾𝖍𝖎, I want you to be concise on your question or your accusation, and then I'm going to give Sevinth a chance to respond, and then we're going to move on. That's all we're going to do, okay? Cool? Cool. 𝕾𝖍𝖎, you're now unmuted. Be concise.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be concise. So, I mean, I have a real problem when it's blatant hypocrisy and lies like what she's spouting right now. I mean, she's sitting here telling a total fabricated story where she attacked somebody in a manic episode, and then because they sat next to her man who's been banned off multiple platforms for egregious reasons, and then she's turned around and attacked 𝕬𝖏 for her OnlyFans stuff while having an OnlyFans or Fansly before previously, and then sit here and gave opinions on assaulting people whenever she has 2 open charges for physical assault and criminal trespass, and they're open charges. I could pull up the arrest records right now.
Okay.
So but I'm not going to dox anybody, but I could.
Don't
it's
do that.
easy to do it. So I don't know how you can sit here and say that's not being hypocrisy.
I'm gonna ask you enough, and we're gonna unmute her, and she's gonna respond. This is serious accusations. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't have any open charges, but here's the problem. I went to a barbecue at Admiral Gibbs's house. I don't even really know him. He is a mutual of a friend of mine. I don't particularly know him very well, but he's a mutual of a friend of mine, Mel, who invited me to a barbecue at his house where a girl named Molly went there and tried to, she was sitting there at his barbecue fucking fingering herself sitting there at a barbecue. No talk, 𝕾𝖍𝖎, because your friend, your girlfriend, whatever she was at the time, was sitting there while I was sitting there at a fucking barbecue, just fingering herself, trying to hit on my boyfriend. It was fucking weird. It was really weird.
That's a lie, but
it was really weird. Bring her on the podcast. Bring her on the podcast. Invite her to the podcast.
We are not going to do that now. but we might do that
What?
later, but
You
not now.
This is why
friend who
streamers
is
should
sitting
never
there.
meet up in person.
You invited me to it. This is the problem.
not
with
meet
people
people
who
from
are
Discord.
fucking on Twitch poll who
It
want
works
to
out sometimes,
interact with
Lab. I've
people
met
in
some
real
lovely
life.
people off
Who have
Discord.
people who are
Yeah, me
sitting there
too.
fucking fingering themselves at a fucking barbecue.
Sounds
where
like a
I'm
normal
sitting there
barbecue to
like,
me.
Hey, that's weird
Who
behavior.
doesn't?
That's
listen,
weird
Who doesn't
behavior.
have just
Like
randos
sitting there
fingering
pretty
themselves
normal
at
to
their
me.
barbecues,
at a
right?
fucking barbecue.
Sounds
It was
normal
a
to me.
barbecue and your
Okay,
friend was
Gibbs.
fingering
Okay,
herself at
enough.
a fucking
Enough.
barbecue.
So,
Enough.
I mean,
Enough.
Was it a
Weird.
barbecue?
So here's my
Yeah.
thing.
Wait, what was it?
If that story that she just told is true, let's just poke a few holes in that.
Mooncake, your
If
face.
she's over here fingering herself, that means she's clearly getting her own satisfaction and not trying to fuck your boyfriend for just by your own story.
It
Because
was really weird because it's
only
your
per-
friend who is staying with you at your house.
Yeah.
Who's sitting
Yeah,
there
we're
saying
gonna
to
let
my
Gibbs-
boyfriend that she
Gibbs-
wanted to fuck him. It was
Gibbs,
weird.
Gibbs,
It was
what's your-
really weird. So I don't like that side of the internet that is devolved to
Okay.
cuckdom. So you, Admiral Gibbs, are a cuck, and I don't particularly like you because I think that you advocate for cuckdom.
I advocate for cuckoldry. I mean, it's interesting
Yes.
to say that
It's
whenever
weird.
your boyfriend is literally flawed. I mean, I don't know.
Gibbs, respond, then we're gonna let you go because
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
wanna give other people.
it's interesting that she's talking about cuckdom whenever her boyfriend's clawed like the biggest cuck in the world. But that's kind of funny. But I mean, just her whole story is just clearly lies and it's just clearly based off the reaction she's having, a manic episode. So that's the best part of this. I mean, you can just tell by the reaction how manic she is and how crazy. And like as to what Lau was saying earlier, she's not drunk. This is her normal all the time. And so yeah, I just have a real problem with the hypocrisy, and she's blatantly lying
Okay,
now.
Gibbs.
She's lying this whole panel. Whenever I have the documents and I can present them to anybody who wants to see them, that she has open charges. In fact, I'll send it to a couple people in private. So yeah, so she's got open arrest warrants out for her right now. So we have a known criminal that if you want to call Crime Stoppers on, we can call Crime Stoppers
Okay,
on.
enough,
Like,
Gibbs. This is not the venue for that. But Gibbs, bye-bye.
What?
What a
Do I
cuck,
wanna do more
bro.
calls?
What an actual cuck.
I don't even know if I want to. Is there
How many
anyone?
callers do you
That's
have?
the definition of what I was talking about earlier, boys. That's an L.
Okay. Is there anyone backstage that has an actual question for these lovely young ladies on men's issues or their experiences with men? That would be brilliant.
Why, as a man, would you come onto a podcast and address a woman with no fucking basis accusation, but that the girl that you were trying to fuck was at a party,
Tuna.
sitting there fucking fingering herself in
We
front
aren't
of a
talking about that
fucking
anymore.
party, trying to fuck somebody else's boyfriend?
My
You
boyfriend's
suck.
here. My boyfriend just arrived.
No,
She's
give
earned her time.
Tuna, save us.
fucking
Save us.
Lord fucking loser, bro.
I saw a tweet on this, and I think that let's get to the problem. What sucks with men? We've been taking women at their word. We've been taking them too literally. We just believe whatever they say without interpretation. We're gonna look at whatever they say and just believe it. Women speak from emotion very often. Women are also, they're not born fucking emotional geniuses. Half of them are wrong about what they're feeling and they're thinking. Men need to do the heavy lifting and stop turning their fucking brain off when something with the tits starts explaining what it wants and needs in
Mr.
life.
Green Screen, can you talk to Gibbs? Can you talk to Gibbs? Can you talk to Gibbs? Because he came in here attacking me.
God, is it just me or is Tuna being really masculine right now?
He was trying to fuck. Here's the problem. The girl that Gibbs was trying to fuck at a party.
We are done with the Gibbs stuff. Oh my god. We are done with the Gibbs
my
stuff.
problem? How is that my problem? No. I
If she's
know,
talking,
honestly. How's
I
that my
can't hear
problem?
it.
How's that my problem?
I've
That the
done
girl
my
that
due
Gibbs was trying
diligence
to
to save
at a party
the
was
future
fingering
of my
herself
children
at a
will be
party in
secured
front of
by
my
not hearing
boyfriend.
her voice.
I wanna,
Can we get a
hear,
mute on Seventh? Thank you.
Yeah, I want to hear other people's take on your point. Women can't be trusted. Women are too emotional. Women don't know what they want.
not
What do you
that.
think of that?
I'll
It's
talk.
not that.
Women don't know what they need. I think that this new generation of women retarded. I think that the last wave of feminism gave them all brain rot. I think that it's completely like a psyop. I think that a bunch of leftist men who like wanted a bunch of pussy were like, how can we convince women that this is for them? And it's not.
Okay, but you think that women working is what, a psyop?
No, you will fundamentally misunderstand the things that I say because you are a lot less smart than you think you are.
Okay, explain to me exactly how
Women working
in the workplace actually reduces their agency. Tell me.
When did I say reduces their agency? I said
How
that
is it
it was
bad for them?
consequential. There are
Okay,
obvious
consequential
good
how?
things that happened. There are
Housekeeping?
obviously good things that
Housekeeping?
happened
I have
from
to
women
use
joining the
I gotta take
workforce.
a piss. Give me one
Go ahead.
second. I'm gonna keep
You
Seventh
don't need
muted.
permission.
Be good.
Just
Empty
go.
the lizard.
There are obviously good things that happened from women joining the workforce. There were obviously bad things. The same thing with birth control. It was incredible that women could control their bodies, right? That's incredible. But also, it gave them less gravity in choosing their partners, right? So there is a give and take to all
Wait,
things.
and you think they had more gravity when choosing their partners before?
Yes, because you don't. If the risk of
Motherfucker, you have
becoming
not like
the
what
risk
fuck
of
is
being
going on,
pregnant,
bro. Do you
No,
even
there's
know
no way that you
anyone
actually
who's
think
been?
this.
Do you
There's
even
genuinely
know
no way
anyone
that
who's
you
been
actually
in an
think.
arranged marriage?
No,
Like, have you ever met a person in your life who's been in an arranged?
What does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about
Like women
if you
having
think
agency
if
before
you
they
could
had
potentially
rights.
get
Hello?
if you can potentially get pregnant by someone that you have sex with, you are going to be a lot more choosy with who you have sex with. This is true.
Yo, and so women were choosy beforehand. They were choosy before with who they had kids with.
Absolute pre-sexual revolution in the birth
Historically?
control. Yes.
Historically?
Yes, pre-sexual revolution in birth control. Absolutely.
You actually do not like.
You don't think that women are having
anything
more
outside of
casual
your, like,
sex
literal
now than they ever
online
have?
bubble. You don't know any.
Wait,
You do not live in the fucking world. You don't know any
so
women
you're saying,
who haven't had any choosing in who their partner was. Like,
so you're
what the
saying
fuck?
that women don't have more
You got-
casual sex now than ever
guys,
before?
You're
I'm not
both
even saying
pulling.
that.
You're
Then
both
what the
pulling
fuck are you
from different
saying?
slices of the past.
Yes.
The further back you go, eventually you get to women having no agency. Women gained agency for a little bit at the beginning of being able to use contraception, which is, by the way, before birth control and condoms. So we're not going to pretend that women were not able to stop having a pregnancy before somebody came up with the fucking pill. What's happening now is economic independence.
Sure.
It's
Wait,
not about
hold
the
on. But
pregnancy.
even people who had contraception
apparently
were
that's bad
primarily
too.
married women. That is just true.
But
So yes, obviously,
contraception is not just for sex.
yes,
It's also-
contraception was primarily natural family planning and between married women or couples. What are you talking about?
It's also used for endometrial cancer.
Okay, Tuna,
Birth
have you
control.
had your question
No,
asked?
because it became a conversation. It became a conversation about women instead of men, which is what's going to happen when you invite women to talk about men. They're going to talk about women. They're
Go
not going to
ahead,
talk about men.
Tuna.
It's a
What
classic
is your
thing.
question? Your question.
This
what
is the
your
question.
about women.
This is what I'm making as a point, and you tell me whether or not you agree. Men, instead of listening to women and then engaging with what they're saying, have gone into this thing where listening means just believing whatever they're saying without interpretation, without pushback, without dialogue. We decided that because someone has a pussy, they're suddenly an emotional genius that knows what they want. No, you have to still use your fucking brain. Which means that when one woman is saying, be hyper masculine, you need to get muscles and be an alpha, and then another woman is saying, men need to be more emotionally in touch, men need to stop raping, men need to, like, all of these different things you're hearing, some of which contradict. That one was for you. I'll be real.
Sure. Men need to
what you have
stop
to do is you have to
raping and
strap
being
out of
caught.
this.
Men
Oh
need
my
to
God!
stop
Shut the
raping.
fuck up, Seven. Damn it, woman! Fuck! Is the law soon enough to make you fucking shut the fuck up? God damn it!
Sue me? You're gonna
No! You should be thinking about your legal fees, apparently. You've got bigger things to worry about than men's problems.
I can see the veins in your neck.
Lawyer!
Okay.
Don't admit you're a cuck.
Mr. Green Screen, I think you're better than that.
Wick, this is even more mic peaking than when you lost it at fifth.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, Tuna. I would agree with you that we should just simply accept everything everyone says uncritically. However, there is a reason, right, that there was a push for men to listen more and be a little more accepting, much like Icebeans' story, right? Of the doctor just simply straight up not believing her when she was describing her problems, right?
Okay, to answer your question,
Fuck that doctor.
To
I'd
to
fucking
answer that
wipe in the
question,
pussy.
Tuna, like yes, I don't think we need to
I'll fuck your
necessarily
doctor's
believe
wife.
every
I'll
single
fuck her.
thing a woman says, right? Like yes, I think that there can be some thought put into whatever it is, right? I think there can be dialogue. I agree. Don't die.
No,
The beauty in the two sexes is that we are yin and yang to each other, and we complete each other. That's the beauty.
I mean,
But
with the
then you see
doctor-
people like Admiral Gibbs, and you're like, is that true?
Okay, we're done with the Gibbs stuff. I promise you. We can have. I'll tell you what,
brought
Seven.
him
If you
here,
want to talk about the
You
Gibbs
brought
stuff,
him here,
we'll bring him on. We'll bring him on another
Yeah.
day, but not today. Today's not the day for that. That'll be another segment, another time. But for now, Tuna. Last point. We got to get. I want to get to as many people as I can. Go ahead.
Oh,
You're muted, idiot.
muted, buddy.
Stupid.
Uh-oh.
You're still muted, idiot. Oh, did you fry your mic from yelling?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh shit! He cucked himself,
That's a
gang.
problem.
He cucked himself.
I don't
No, he's
hate
gone.
anybody. I'm sorry that I
Oh,
fought
no,
with Lab.
Tuna.
I just hate that Lab for a second
Fine,
thought
Tuna.
that Destiny was an intellectual human
Enough,
being.
Seventh. You didn't mute yourself.
What is
That's the
happening?
only problem. That's the only problem. I don't care, Wick. I don't care if you want to boot me again for a second. That's the only problem that I have.
Fuck me. Hold on. I had to mute the stream because it's a lot of screaming all happening at once.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tuna. Your mic. You killed. You did it to yourself, brother.
Hi,
Jeptan.
Jeptan.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Wick?
I've been better. I'm not gonna
We as
lie.
men got to stick together
I've been
here,
better.
you know.
What you got for us?
Well, at risk of making this boring, I kind of wanted to talk about just like the typical dating side of men and women, which I figured was one of the main points of this at some point. And it kind of goes along the side of the people who think like porn is ruining men, and I think porn's part of it, but I think it's just this concept of friction. So this is a concept that's like really common in like marketing and finance, where the less friction there is in a process.
Friction in porn.
Yeah. Anyway, so the less friction there is in a process, like to buy something, the more likely someone is going to buy it. So that's why you see like all these websites now that sell retail products, they're offering to break things up into payments. They all will take credit cards easier than they can take, any other form of payment, because it's the frictionless purchase that it brings more purchasing power to the user. So Tinder has kind of done that for dating, right? And porn is, I think what Lab was arguing, does that for sex and intimacy, right? It's all frictionless. And, people are just like anything else, where we're going to take the path of least resistance in a lot of ways. And so Tinder is where a lot of people are going to date, but it's the lowest friction dating process you can have. Your interaction with somebody initially is literally just a swipe either direction. So what I think could probably correct a lot of the dating issues with men and women is, and this is where it's sort of like that next panel of what can women do to better men in some ways, is I think women at a certain point have to introduce more friction culturally to the dating process, the way that it used to be, where like, I'm going to meet you in person with friends around before we go on a date and things like that. I want to know what they feel about it.
What kind of friction can you introduce, right, to men?
Like to make them. I'm sorry.
From
I'm.
Jeb's point.
Wait, do you
have
mean
you not
like
been listening to Jeb? Fair enough.
I think I think
No,
that
do you mean-
women I think that women should hold men's feet to the fire more. I think that women should stop having sex with like easy sex outside of a relationship with men who haven't proved
You have to
that haven't
establish
proved that they are
boundaries. Like,
that they are
Costco
worthy
card.
of being your partner, or that they can provide anything to your life. I think that has been the cultural game that we've played with each other since we were monkeys.
Do you have a Costco card? Jebtan. Do you have a Costco card?
Sure, yeah.
You
I have
do?
a Costco card, yeah.
Okay, well there you go. You care about
You get sex! You have a Costco card. You get to have sex with
Actually,
Seventh.
you know
Holy
what?
shit!
So,
Okay, Costco's
Costco
pretty
card
big.
is a
Costco card is
bonus,
pretty fucking
actually.
based.
well,
Yeah.
no. What I'm trying to say is basically, for what's confusing is adding friction just means increasing sort of the level of commitment a dude has to have in order to engage with you. So, like,
Totally.
I can't just swipe and then hit you up and say, "What's your snap?" and you're just going to give it to me.
Yeah.
That low friction process is going to encourage hooking up.
Because everybody lies.
Oh.
Everybody lies on the internet, on their dating profile.
true,
It's like
Queen.
it's like
So
you're,
what are
you're
you doing? Like what I'm
advertising
asking,
what you are.
So what I'm asking is, what can women do to force men to verify a little bit more about themselves? Because we all talk about what women should look for in a dude, but how much are women doing culturally or encouraged to do culturally nowadays to have a man prove himself in those ways?
It's
women
like
should
it's like
have
the
sex less.
Mystery Mrs. Smith scene where he's like, "What's your social security number? Who you been with?"
I
don't know.
I was gonna say also maybe meeting their friends, right? I always say like who they hang out with is a depiction of who that person is. So if you meet their friend group and they're fucked, it's like you probably don't want to hang out with this person, right? That's a big thing. Also, asking certain questions, right? What are your intentions? What are you looking for? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, right? I think those are important questions that you can kind of filter some information out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that like encouraging more women to meet up with dudes in a friendly way before they meet up with them on a date, you're gonna weed out a lot of the guys looking for, because again, low friction engagement is going to breed a low friction relationship, which basically means the dude's just going to get what he wants easy. He's going to go, he's going to fuck you, and then
Yo,
you're at his.
Costco card, you could buy pussy in bulk.
Okay, $5 for Zephyr Hash. I guess I realize now why men can't get anywhere when we ask women what to do. This panel's what we get. True, King. True. Jebtan,
Wait,
thank you for coming on.
I do want to quickly answer Jebtan. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think like I'll say that like I don't have like really a whole lot of experience with just hookup culture in general, right? But I think that I think it can be worthwhile to introduce more friction, like you said. Like that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think that to kind of move away from that hookup culture, things like being like financially, and if not knowledgeable, but then willing to learn. Like that's a pretty good one as well. Like it could be as simple as like, can you budget your money when you're on a trip or something, right? So I think that that's definitely a good point that you brought up there.
Jebtan, it was a pleasure. I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can, so we're going to let go.
Goodbye, Jeb.
Okay, who is next in this showcase of horrors? Let's bring on.
Also, Wick, I'll let you know. I have about 10 more minutes left in me. This has been very draining.
We'll do 2 more callers, and we'll probably call it good. Who's the lucky 2, gang? Let's get.
Oh my god, you have a fucking line.
Yeah, you have a line.
Azzy. Yeah, Gigadatum, get in here. We'll save you for the last, okay? Gigadatum, just.
Gigadatum.
Talk about men's issues, bro. We don't listen to women. We talk about men's issues. Last time we tried to have women talk about women's issues, we got nowhere. Now we're trying to have women talk about men's. Wait, have we not learned? And all these women are abnormal, bro.
Abnormal? What do you
mean?
Hold on. No, hold on. Well, Seventh, you know what he means by you. But Azzy, I want you to go down the list, and I want you to tell me why each one of these people is abnormal. Well, you're going to start with Icebeans. Why is Icebeans abnormal?
Retarded.
I'm not gonna come after Moon, but you know, we already hashed it out. I didn't have to say anything, bro. I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Wait. Wait. No, I don't know.
All those Austins. You know what I'm saying?
Henry.
Oh, it's my opinion
Right?
because I've mostly dated white men, so it's this thing on another.
Good for you.
Too.
See that? And I don't trust
you.
Lav because she hasn't deleted her OnlyFans. So she's like,
I don't want someone to take my username and
advice,
pretend to be
all
me.
your advice
I haven't posted on it in a year. You have to keep the username.
Be like Gideon. Delete all your stuff.
You can't do that. If I delete my OnlyFans, my username, someone else can use it and pretend to be me.
Okay.
Lab.
No, I'm not
Wait,
going to.
I want to know. Wait, I want to know.
Why would I
how
delete
that's
it?
normal.
If I'm not posting on it
move
and I'm
on.
not making money from it, why does it matter? It's only advantageous for me to keep the username. I lose nothing, and my argument loses nothing either.
Nah, the content is still out there. Still out there victimizing
Not
men.
no, not
Sending
your
them to therapy.
OnlyFans. Every bit
Apparently
of
they still have
content
to go
on
to
my
the gym.
OnlyFans is deleted. Every single bit of content. is deleted.
Your
Wait, I
picture,
wanna know
your
how I'm
picture,
abnormal.
lag. No, lag.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
He's a man,
progress.
so he's not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. Like 5 hours ago, your picture on Discord was a picture of you with your ass out. Was it not?
Yeah, that's
Lav,
wait, hold on.
Lav,
Me
please.
I don't
being
know.
Please,
I
no,
wasn't- I don't-
Lav, answer the
I don't
question.
be checking out Lav. She married.
what the fuck does that have to do with paying for pussy? Me consenting and freely showing my sexuality is not the same thing as someone paying for it.
Yes, it is.
Lav, when you're
Yes,
sitting
it,
there
No,
with
it
yes,
your
it
is
is.
Discord
not.
being
You're
like,
not
hey, do
going.
you want to see
You're
my
not going
pussy?
to some. You're not going to NYU sitting in front of a canvas letting people draw you. No, it's not the same thing. This isn't just art.
I'm not
I hate
saying
when
wait.
people make
I'm
that.
not saying that it was art. I'm not saying it's art. It's obviously eye-catching for sexual attention.
But Lav, I
That's
don't have
not
a
the
problem with you.
problem.
Lav, I just wish you were honest. I don't have a problem with you. I just
The
wish you were
problem
honest.
with OnlyFans is not that women are getting too much sexual attention. It's that you are buying a body.
No
That's
one
not
will tell
okay.
me why I'm abnormal.
Why?
I don't know
wish
Ice
you was
Beans,
the
but
honest
I'm just
one.
getting this vibe.
Really?
Getting
I'm
this
getting this
vibe.
vibe.
Okay.
Are you Ice Beans? Are
I
you
just wish you
Guyanese?
was the honest one. Lav
Are you
could be the
Guyanese?
soldier.
I'm
Lav
Sri
could be the
Lankan.
soldier and
Sri
be like,
Lankan?
Yeah.
I'm just getting this vibe, right? I don't want to say it.
Wait.
Based on her
Wait.
race?
What?
Based on her
I have a
race?
Yeah,
moral
like, are you
turpitude
getting a
now
vibe
with
because
my
you-
Black
my
men
position.
try to not to be racist challenge. Difficulty
It's not-
impossible.
I literally married my like childhood sweetheart. Like I'm like the most boring person here.
Okay. All
Azzy?
right. So she's safe.
Azzy?
that's
but
not boring.
but the
Last
thing
thought.
is-
Last thought before we
I'm
let you
so
go.
sorry. I'm so sorry that culture has conditioned you to think that that's boring, but that's not boring.
That's
But
that's-
Seven's brought up
that's an actual
women,
good point.
yeah?
That's an actual good point.
I
Oh
hate
my god.
everybody. I hate everybody equally.
Azzy, last thought, and then we're gonna let you go.
Seven's brought up an instance where her boyfriend was about to be sexually assaulted by
Oh my god.
a woman, right? So I'm pretty sure that's one of those
Yeah.
rare occurrences that Lav is so against, right? They just need to
There
go to the
was
gym.
there was literally
Fight that out.
literally
Hey,
I am-
a
I-
woman,
I
a
would-
woman's just hitting you, right?
Claw
That's
is-
crazy,
let's be
right?
honest.
If
Let's be
Claw is
honest.
traumatized
Yeah.
by that, I will eat my
Claws in
fucking
her hand,
hand.
you know, go deadlift.
Sexual assault. So here's the problem. Gibbs wanted to bring himself in here, so I'm going to talk about it. Gibbs invited me to a barbecue because my friend Mel invited me to a barbecue at Gibbs'
Why did you do this?
Azzy?
Why?
Do you want to talk over me?
I'm
Do you
blaming
wanna
Azzy for
talk
this.
And it
over
now.
me?
Please,
Here's the
Wick.
problem. You want to talk over me? No,
Wick,
because
please.
my friend Mel
Okay. Another day. We will get to this another day, but not today. We have a last guest. Last guest.
You could date him.
at barbecues where like people are just sitting there like, oh my god, I don't have any underwear on. I'm so like fucked up on drugs and alcohol. I'm
It's
just like
been so
fingering myself.
long.
I don't have any underwear on.
What's
is
up,
that normal
Lavloon?
or is that
How
not
are you?
normal?
I'm good. By the way, why
Is
is
that normal
everybody
or is that
harassing
not
you?
normal?
Why is everybody harassing Lavloon?
Okay, we're gonna mute you again, Seven.
I don't know who you are.
Hold on.
I don't know who you are.
I
Okay,
muted her.
look.
Okay, carry
Why
on.
is everybody harassing Lavloon? We all know she's a whore. Why do you keep bringing up her OnlyFans? Okay, like, give me a break. It's old news. Let it go.
Cut out the roids, baby. That's not natty. There's no way that's natty, baby.
Cope more.
Cut it out of
okay?
your
Cope
diet. Your
more.
balls are this big. Your balls are this big, buddy. You're
prove
talking to
to
me
you
from a
otherwise.
rent
No,
controlled
not on my stream.
apartment. You're talking to me from a rent controlled apartment with your
Look,
tiny
I'm
balls.
not gonna turn this into a roast session, okay? I
Go
do that
back
all
to
the
your
time.
sissy hypno. Go back to your sissy hypno.
Look, you want to know why men suck? All right, I'll give it to you plain and simple. It's because women suck. All right, what is the incentive for men to do fucking anything these days? What was the incentive for men to do anything 100 years ago? It was for fucking breeding. It was for to get women.
True.
Nowadays, what's the incentive? Absolutely fucking no incentive because women
We're
suck.
back
They
at
do
the
their
emo
own
psych.
thing. They get a fucking dog. They don't need men. So why the fuck do men have to put any effort into their lives when in the reality, all they're going to get and end up with is mediocre fucking mid women? That's all it is. That's why
Who don't
men
know how to
suck,
cook?
because there's no
Who
fucking
complain about
incentive anymore
child
for
rearing?
men to actually be a hardcore fucking man.
Can I ask a question?
That's so based.
Moon, go ahead.
So when you say mid and stuff, like what do you mean? Like when you say you're gonna end up with like these mid, like
You can compare women today to even 10 years ago, and they're not comparable. All right,
He's
women
talking about do nothing bitches. He's talking about women who don't know how to
they're
cook.
so fucking
don't know how to
entitled.
clean,
They are
don't know
so
how to do anything.
entitled. It's ridiculous. That's the problem with women these days. They are so entitled. They think they deserve the world. And in reality, what do they contribute? What do they contribute to a relationship? What do they contribute to society? Far less than you actually fucking think, right? And women who are more independent end up being less successful in their relationships because they have to, or they don't rely on men. And when you don't rely on a man, you don't have to please him as much. And when you don't please a man as much, the relationship suffers. It's literally a fucking cycle.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the same thing, vice versa as well.
Yeah, so
you're right. It is. I'm not saying otherwise.
Yeah.
You don't have to dox yourself, but may I ask just like where you live or like where like your
I'm in
area?
Southern California.
In rent control department.
The reason I ask is only because I think this is also based off of who you interact with, like your circles and where you live, right? This is not every single city or every single place. You're gonna find shitty women and shitty men on both sides. It's really about who you're picking.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm far more traveled and well-traveled than anybody else on this panel. I've lived out of the country for 4 years. I've toured the U.S. for 2 years. Like, I'm actually on an international stunt contract right now. So I've actually been and dealt with many people from different cultures. And I can tell you right now, this is across the board, only in America and Western civilization. Places like Japan or places like Saudi Arabia, places like the Middle East. Sorry, what?
How can you claim that you're well-traveled than any of us? You don't know half of us.
You're right. I don't know half of you. I'm making an educated
He's a man.
guess
He's
based off the
arrogant.
fucking
Let him do his thing. You don't understand
idiocracy that
men.
I'm
Let him
hearing.
talk. He just yaps. Let him yap. Let him yap.
All right. Tell you what. Prove me otherwise. Prove to me that you're more well-traveled than I am.
Well, I've lived in England for 7 years. My family was in the military. We moved all around. I've been in Poland, Austria.
I was specifically
Germany.
talking to the women,
Oh,
but yes.
the women? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Go
Wick, this
ahead.
isn't about
What
you.
is well-traveled? What is well-traveled to you, Giga? Giga, I have to ask. Okay, so what is well-traveled to you?
Being able to
you
experience
guys would
and
be so cute
appreciate
together.
different cultures. Being able to actually, have you ever assimilated into a culture in your entire life aside from your own?
Sure.
What culture, though? What are you talking about?
Oh my god!
Like, which
Any
culture?
fucking culture, woman. What are you talking about?
Giga, you could fix Seven. You could fix it.
Holy shit! What culture? I just asked for
Giga-
any culture.
Okay, I grew up. Okay, here.
I
How
get
about this?
it, but
I grew up in Saudi
unfortunately for
Arabia.
you, I was born
I've
in
lived in
America.
Sri Lanka. I've lived in the
Unfortunately.
U.S. Is that enough? Is that well-traveled enough? I've been to about like 24 different.
You can live in many different places. It doesn't matter if you haven't assimilated.
Oh.
If you haven't adopted
okay.
the
I
cultures
haven't assimilated.
themselves.
Oh, I didn't become an American citizen, and I didn't learn anything about America. So I'm not assimilated. Is it? Is that it?
What is it? What is the point of the semantic
I've
game?
assimilated
Obviously,
in
it's
two
true in
different
Western
cultures.
culture.
But no,
Obviously,
the
it's true in
culture was
Clearly to
Western
prove,
culture. Amazing.
clearly to prove that
Honestly,
women are
I-
inferior because they get so fucking
Oh
tilted
my
so easily.
God.
There you go. Point
Like,
proven.
Immediately, the
Annoying.
goalpost
I'm
got moved
honestly
as soon
curious.
as they were
I'm
met.
honestly curious.
As soon
If you
as they were
have,
met.
if you have
Holy
honestly experienced different cultures to a point where you
Bro.
think that there is a relevance to how they affect the dating culture, then I think that's interesting. If you
Most cultures don't even fucking date. Do you realize that? Like,
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? Do you realize that in Western, like, dating is a Western approach to relationships? Okay,
Yeah, that's the
most
first and
cultures
only
in the
thing you
world
said that
don't even
makes
fucking
sense.
date. Like, what do you? Are you even so stupid you don't even realize that?
You don't think that the rest of the world date?
He is
Oh my,
kind of
your
right.
Okay,
fucking ignorance.
he's
Your
not
ignorance
wrong.
is showing.
He's not wrong. with that
Fairy
one.
Queen. Hey, just real quick, Fairy Queen for $20.
You're calling me ignorant.
You are not going to
don't
cut.
think that
You
the
can
rest
cut
of
my
the world
content, but you
dates.
cannot cut my money. I will get my money. $20 from Fairy Queen to ask this question. Isn't the primary complaint from incel spaces, MRA spaces, Red Pill, that women are too selective? That women have expectations that are too high? Odd to state that
Who
women
cares?
have no standards, sees. But also this. And $2 from Testicle Johnson, we need Sharia law in America. And $5 from Superpower Sensei to ask, I'll ask my good question again. When, if ever, does a man's emotional needs come before a woman's? So let's address those. Go ahead, gang.
Giga datum. What are your emotional needs?
Wait, hold on. Last question. A
He's
relationship
the only
doesn't.
male here.
A relationship doesn't work like you tell me what your problem is and we only focus on that. You tell me what your problem is. You are juggling your emotions with each other consistently. It's usually obviously if you're with someone who is less emotionally invested in like their feelings, who cares less, is a more go with the flow person, then it would make sense that you would sort of cater to the other partner's things. Like if you don't care about whether or not your partner really it likes other people's photos on Instagram, but your partner really, really cares, it would probably be, the relationship would probably mean like, you listen to that person, even if you don't care that much.
My boyfriend liked Taylor Swift's posts on Instagram.
Look, they pay $20 and I want someone to address it, right? I want someone to address it. Are women too selective?
That bitch.
No, women are not selective enough.
Hold on, wait. Are you asking
The problem is that they are not selective enough, and also they have nothing to offer.
No, they are
Those are both of the
prioritizing the
problems.
wrong things today. That
That's
is
true.
the problem. It's
That's
not
true.
necessarily that they're too selective. They are
Wait.
just prioritizing the wrong things in a
That's
relationship,
true.
which
So
is causing so
what
many
are the
failures.
wrong things, if I may ask?
What are the wrong
things?
things? I mean, it's okay to
What's
be
the
attracted to certain
priority?
people.
That
It's
you're
okay to
Taylor
have
Swift?
preferences. No. See, that's just it. It's like you have such high expectations. Like there is such nitpicking going on.
Women
in
aren't
relationships today.
caring whether or not you'd be a good father to your children.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Whether or not
they
you
aren't
can provide
prioritizing
in
the
a
things that truly
relationship.
matter. They aren't
Yes.
prioritizing integrity. They aren't prioritizing, someone's passion for life. They are prioritizing, the amount of money in their fucking bank. They're prioritizing, like, I don't know, if they can brag to their friends or not about what they do. Like, it's not so much about the person anymore. It's about what they do or what they look like on paper. Because the rest of the world is going to look at that paper. The rest of the world is going to look at that paper and judge it rather than and realize that this person is actually a good fucking human being. They don't give a shit. They want to be able to brag about their partner. And that is society today.
I genuinely think that's a specific set of women. When I went to university, for example, that's really not what women are looking for, right? They were just looking for people who had the same similar interests, same values, same morals, probably were looking for a job, well-educated, things along those lines. If you're talking about the women who look specifically just about a bank account or like they don't give a fuck about if this guy's going to be a good person, that's a very specific like set of women. But that's not like the majority of women.
I disagree. I think many women do prioritize that more so than you think. I think that's again, the problem with dating. I think they prioritize the wrong things. Like you go, it's so like, I don't know if you've ever been on a dating app. Like I tried it for a bit. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a relatively good looking guy with a good job. And the fucking nitpicky that was going on with these women, like if you say the wrong thing in a simple text message, they're going to stop messaging you. They're going to ghost you. It's like,
wait, what did you say? What did you say that got him to ghost you?
Just like, not even like ghosting. Like if you're not funny, like if you don't make a joke every other fucking sentence, it's like, oh well, this guy he doesn't have a good sense of humor. Like I'm funny as shit, but I don't come across that way in text messages. But that's how nitpicky women are these days. It's like, oh, if you don't make them laugh in a fucking text message in the first like two fucking exchanges, like
I'm gonna be real with you,
might
man.
as well
It
just
sounds like a
I'm
skill
sure
issue.
that's why.
I'm
sure that's why.
It sounds like you're not getting selected, babe. Sounds like you're not getting selected. Sounds like you're going to be a eunuch.
But that's just it. It's you're right. I'm not the greatest texter whatsoever. I am not the best coming across my personality when it comes to text messaging. Okay, yes, it is a shortcoming of myself. But
you're
it only proves
like
my
women
point.
only care about the way that I look, and the women only care about the way that people look, and not that they're. It sounds like she doesn't care about how you look, and she wants you to be funny.
One punch man a bitch through his face.
What I'm trying to say is like, okay, you know, like I always say, like looks get you looks get you through the door, personality keeps you in the room, right? So they're gonna like swipe right on the looks, okay? And then
Can I ask another question to you then? Like when you for Giga, when you like look for women, what is your type? Like, are you looking for like 10s across the board? Like, what is the specific type you're looking for?
I would, so if I looked, I always believe in honesty, right? So I look at myself in the mirror, I say, you know, I'm at least a 7.5 out of 10 on an attractive scale. I look for someone who is at least a 7.5 out of 10 on that scale.
Short,
and look, I'm just being honest here, okay? So that's what I think. And to me, I've lately realized that intelligence is number one to me, okay? Because if I can have a conversation, if I can sit here on a panel like this and have a good conversation, like my life is boring as fuck.
True.
Okay. And please don't take this personally. I'm just curious. How tall are you? I'm just curious. Please.
6'1".
6'1". No, I don't want it to be.
Okay, buddy. Let's do a door frame challenge.
Have you not met me in real life?
No. Why would I have met you in real life?
You've met Gunnar in real life, and you've seen me stand next to him.
First of all, this is a legend.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to meme or anything.
I swear to God, I'm 6'1". All right, like you can ask me any question. I'm an open book. I'm an honest guy. That's
okay,
what
I just don't want to come across as rude. Like, I genuinely am not trying to like mean you or anything.
Even if you were to be rude, I'm not the type to get offended. So by all means, be rude, be nice. It doesn't matter. Like, you're on a stream, you're on Twitch. Whether you're rude, whether you're obnoxious, whether you're honest, whether you're fake, it doesn't matter. Okay, at the end of the day, don't apologize for stupid shit like that on a panel like this.
Yeah, it's just who I am. But no, the reason I ask is because I find that men, when they're usually struggling with women, tend to go for a certain type of women. So that's why I asked like 10s across the board. They want
I
a
didn't
woman.
say I was struggles with women.
Oh,
yeah, I did not say that.
Wait, but that's interesting. Giga, why aren't you married? How old are you?
Say it.
Because I have high standards. I'll admit that right now.
How old are you, and why aren't you married?
I am
Don't
30
you want
years old.
children?
I am not married because I was in love, and the last person I was in love with didn't work out. And that was fairly recent.
Wait, what did you say? The last person that he was in love with what?
Is a whore, Seventh. She's a whore.
Yeah, sort of. She let me put it this way. She
Many such
prioritized the wrong things in a relationship.
Is that why you hate women now?
Okay,
Giga, is that why you hate women now?
Wait,
She broke
wait.
your heart?
Prioritize dick size. Sorry,
What's
Giga.
what's the wrong things? What's the wrong things?
What's the wrong things? We already just went over all this.
Where have you been? Seventh, are you alive right now?
I don't
Can you
realize.
check your pulse?
No, she's not.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. This has been something, gang.
I just asked for a summary. Okay.
Women be trifling. Okay, that's a summary. Women be trifling. Women be they're too pretentious. They just need to settle. That's my conclusion.
I think some men have like weird personalities, and unfortunately, when people clock it, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get out of here." Like they from like even a couple.
Moon,
texts,
what's the weird
you can notice
personalities
that.
traits?
You're saying Giga's weird?
Yeah. What do you
what I'm
clock in a
saying is,
man
like-
that makes you go away? Right? Like you said, weird personalities. Can you be specific? What about a man's personality will be like? Okay, no. Giga here, he's great and all, but we can't have Giga because Giga does this. Like maybe he kills animals or something. I don't know.
Giga chat.
Some men just come across like too
I'll
intense.
advocate for
Like
gay
you'll
chat.
text them, and they're immediately like, "Let's meet up tomorrow. Let's do this next week." And it's like, okay,
Why
let's
don't
just
you
first
like
get to know each
that?
other.
That's
But wait,
go
why
getting.
is persistence wrong?
What?
You're the problem. You're the
sides.
You'd rather sit there and have a text message
You
conversation
should date
rather than
women.
meet someone
You should
face to
date women.
face. Like,
I don't
are you
want to
fucking
date a
kidding
cuck.
me?
I don't want to date a cuck.
If you're interested in someone, you're interested in someone. Get to know them face to face. If you waste
Yeah.
an hour or two out of
I
your
want to date
fucking
an
life,
alpha.
is that
I
so
want to date an
bad?
alpha who's like, bitch, I'm gonna meet you
I don't
right
know.
now. You're the best bitch I've ever met. You're the
God,
baddest bitch I've ever met. I need to meet you right now.
I hate people like you. Like, you either are interested in someone or you're not. You want to get to know someone or you're not. Like, you can't do that via text messages. Meet them face to face or stop wasting your
You're
fucking
the
time.
baddest bitch. I need to
Personal
meet you right now.
preference. I think we live in a day and age where meeting someone in person doesn't always work out. You have instances where men freak out, especially if you reject them. So getting to know someone via like Skype, or people don't really use Skype, but FaceTime, text message, stuff like that is not a bad idea.
You
think that's
can't.
inherently bad?
You can't live your
Well, why
life
would you-
based
wait,
off
if
of the
someone
possibility of something going wrong, right? Yeah, sure, there are men that might freak out because
Also, that's why you meet in
them. But that's
public.
not part and parcel of, like, that's just part and parcel of life. Like, that's just gonna happen. Just like, you know, if you reject a guy, yeah, he's gonna be upset. Just like if a guy rejects you, you might be a little upset.
Okay, I'm gonna interject here. I'm going to interject here.
What's the ick? What's
I'm
the ick
just real
for
quick,
you?
Stop. Just real quick. I do think it can come off as off-putting from a male perspective if, again, even after the first meetup or the first date, suddenly they're like talking about having children with you or things like that. There is a point in time where it is a red flag if off the rip you go from 0 to 100, just like off like right away. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's off-putting. It puts up red
If
flags.
she's like, get me
It's like,
pregnant, yeah. But if she's like, do you want kids? I
No,
really
but
want kids.
some-
That
I
is
think
completely
some men
normal.
do this.
I
Some
disagree.
men
I
do
think
this.
it's like, it's a very casual, yeah, I want kids, and it's as simple as that. Because if I don't
Yeah.
want to date someone who doesn't want kids, like,
Oh,
I
no,
want
I'm not
kids, and
talking
it's
about
something
that.
like,
Okay, let me
why
be
would I
more
go on a
clear.
second or third
Sure,
date
sure.
with someone who does not want kids? And you have to ask that question.
That's fine.
Otherwise, you're wasting time.
I'm not talking about that. I want to be very clear what I'm talking about, right? It's the people who are asking to move in with you, like after the second date or the third date.
Yeah, that's
Oh
insane.
yeah, I mean that's
Things
that's
like that.
crazy.
It's
Okay, after the second date, but Wick, what's
Stop
the
dating
date?
homeless people.
What's the date where you're like, okay, you can come hang out at my house?
hang out.
Third
It's
date.
hang out's fine, but when we're talking about like living with me, like it's got to be at least a few months.
Well, Wick, what if she's your dream girl?
The only way I find out if she's my dream girl is by spending time with her, and that takes a few months to figure it out.
Sorry, can I just go back on something? I was just assuming.
I don't know where you found the seventh girl, but holy fuck,
She's a mess, isn't she?
she's a fucking mess.
Seventh, pregnancy could fix you. Pregnancy could fix you.
God, she needs a fucking man in her life. I can already tell that.
Giga,
She
you could be the
unfortunately
one.
has
You
one.
could be the one, right?
Shut
Yeah.
up!
You could change her.
Wick,
You could change her.
stop! Every time you talk, I want to punch Destiny in the face.
Am I allied with Steven?
Moon, last question, Moon, and then
I
we're
love
gonna
you,
wrap it
Lab.
up.
It's not you. It's not Lab. It's not Lab. Every time Lab says something that upsets me, it literally makes me want to punch Destiny in the face. Does that make sense?
Are you drinking?
Yeah, of course she is.
What a fucking degenerate.
She's drinking on SSRIs.
Okay, gang. On that note, Moon, you had one last question, then we're gonna end it.
It was just a statement. Mine was just based off of if you met someone online. If you met someone in person, it's obviously different. But I just meant like you can kind of tell when someone has weird vibes if they're bringing up stuff that you wouldn't really talk about unless you were dating for a little while. I think it's really weird. Also being very touchy. I don't like men that are extremely touchy off the bat. I think that's weird. Stay away from me. I don't know you.
Touchy is this way or touchy
Says
is
the
like
one who
sensitive?
apologized for no reason.
What do you mean?
You don't like men that are touchy and that you apologize for being, rude.
She
It's
doesn't
like,
mean
no.
touchy and sensitive. She means touchy as in hands.
Yeah,
hands.
like
Oh,
feeling.
touchy as in hands. Oh, I thought you meant like touchy as in sensitive.
No, like just like.
And that's
Well,
where
no.
we get into like the more sensitive topics of that men can be fucking assholes. And it's like
I like it when men are
suck.
tenacious. When men are
Yes.
tenacious and they put like their hand on your leg or something the first time they meet you at dinner. I love being able to be like, "What the fuck are you doing, weirdo? Get off me!" And then he usually likes that because you can set a boundary, right? Or you just like it.
One-on-one interaction.
You fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's fucked. What?
Gang.
What do you mean? That's not fucked up at all.
No.
Learning each other's boundaries, that's so fun. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
it is fun in a relationship, not on a first date.
Yeah.
What do you mean if someone puts their hands on your leg and you don't like?
I'm
Let's
not
say that you
putting my
like it, you
hand
don't
on
have to
any
do
fucking
anything.
girl's leg on a first date. What are you, crazy?
Yeah,
that's
You should talk to
How
Gunnar about that.
predatory is that?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that, Gig. Like, don't. Not a good idea.
Wait, with my
Can I
fiance.
touch you? Can
you're
I touch
legit
you,
are
bro?
trolling
You
right
should
now.
be like, can I touch you, bro?
No,
Can I have a contract?
Wait, if you guys are feeling each other, that's like potentially normal. Not like randomly, but if you're feeling
So
each
I
other,
only
it's
date
normal.
wholesome women. Like they're lucky if they get a first kiss at the end of the night. All right, let alone my hand on their fucking leg. Are you kidding me? What
No,
kind
but
of
I'm
whore
just
are
saying
you?
I like tenacity. What do you mean? What kind of whore am I? I clearly just said that I don't like that, but I like being able to say, "Get your fucking hand off of me." I like that. That's fun. It's a little game
That's
of
just
cat
a
and
fucking
mouse.
power trip. What are you talking about? That's
I
fun.
don't
That's
know.
cat
That's all of a relationship,
No.
baby.
Men,
Think
men,
about what
don't do
you're
that.
telling people
Men,
right
Spartan
now.
men
Don't
and
do
Spartan
that,
women.
men.
Don't do
Spartan
that.
men and Spartan women.
Okay, with
If
that,
she's feeling you and you
fucking
know
troll.
she's feeling you, go in for it. Make
Giga.
a fucking move.
thanks for
If-
calling
no,
in.
it-
You're a
Thanks for calling in.
pussy.
We have one more.
The
We have one more
steroids
call.
are ruining your brain.
If a woman,
They're making you less
if a
tenacious.
woman like touches, if a woman like puts her hand on you in any way, then yes, then it's like almost an invitation, right? It's all
Yeah.
about reading someone, but you don't make the first
Exactly.
move as a guy. You don't just put your hand on their fucking leg. No, but if she somehow finds an excuse, for example, to like feel my bicep or do something, then it's sort of an excuse. Okay, now I have permission to touch her. She touched me, but never is the guy ever supposed to make the first fucking move when it comes to physical touch anywhere other than make me a hand
I disagree.
on a first date.
I think that we should teach women how to say no, but I think that men should make the first move.
We don't. Yeah, yeah, but we don't need to fucking put it into practice every time we go on a date.
Also,
Yeah,
can
not
I
every
say
time, but if you're
something?
feeling each other, make the first move. If you know
Okay.
that
This
she's
is-
into it.
This is random, but I'm Canadian, so that's why I apologize all the time. It's literally just in my vocabulary.
Noted.
Okay.
Okay, Giga, we're
Yes.
gonna let you go. We have one more person that has a very important question. Giga, thank you for
Bye,
calling. in.
Giga. It was great to
See-
see you.
We have one more person
That was definitely something.
with a very important question, and then we're going to end this.
Rez.
Resi.
How's it going, everybody? Haven't seen a lot of y'all in a while. Lav,
Yeah.
great to see you. I
Great to
love
see you.
I love your blood libel profile picture. Fantastic. Good job, Wick, on being consistent. Mooncake, good to meet you finally.
Yeah.
It looks like the lady of the hour has left. The boy beater, the fucking animal abuser, Sevinth has left.
Whoa.
Why the fuck is she gone now? I wonder fucking why. That's what my question was.
This girl has a
Because-
lot of lore.
Oh, she has a lot of lore that I plan on going over in the near future, and I've gone over for a while.
I
But
will be
I have a
clear.
question for Seven.
She asked to come on my panel, and if you want to come on my panel, you're allowed. I don't do background checks.
Oh, I know.
I don't.
Hey, Wick, I don't judge you for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is fucking Christmas for me, baby. I haven't fucked like this since I was in grade school. I fucking love this shit.
You haven't fucked like this in grade school? What?
Yeah, you heard me.
Okay.
You know what that's quoting, okay? You probably don't actually. It's kind of weird, but no, yeah. Seventh is a piece of shit. I kind of wanted to fucking come on here and continue that, but yeah, looks like she's back. Is she gonna put on the headphones this time, guys? Let's go, Seventh. How are you doing? How are your dogs?
She's
Do you
muted.
actually get to see
Not
them
on
for
my
more than a
end.
week
She
this
muted
time, or-
herself.
Like
Not on
what?
my
Like
end.
how are you gonna take care of a fucking kid when you can't keep yourself out of fucking jail? You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking piece of shit. Nothing you do. You assault people. You don't give a fuck. You take no responsibility. You're what's wrong with fucking men because you don't take responsibility. You fucking dirigible fucking cunt. Eat shit. Eat shit. How long is it gonna be after you have a kid with that fucking piece of shit that can't stay off a fucking panel, right? On a fucking platform. How long is it gonna be till your fucking dumb fuck kid says the N-word on Twitch? How many times do you get your channel banned? How many times do we have to show you doing the same shit over and over again? It's never gonna end, baby. I'm always here. Come on, Seventh. Wake up. Man up, Seventh. Get clout and fix your shit.
This Twitch shit getting serious.
Okay.
She assaulted
Don't
one of
get
my
it.
friends. I don't give a fuck. You figure it out yet, retard?
She's having audio issues. I want to give her a chance to
Yeah,
respond
she's
to that.
got a lot of fucking issues. Court
Give her a
orders,
second
those are some of
after
the
that.
issues. Yeah. Court orders are some of the fucking issues, yeah.
Look, I thought this panel was going to go one way. I thought I had, okay, we're going to have to watch out because I have a controversial figure on this panel, so I'm going to have to make sure I rein it in and keep things going. I had two.
Little
I
did
had
you
two
know.
controversial people on this panel.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
probably three because I'm controversial myself. Okay.
Oh, don't
well,
worry.
We're going on a
we're gonna get a
journey,
background scene of
apparently.
what Claw likes to do.
So what we're going to do now then, since this isn't working out, we are probably just going to end the stream. Gang, I want to give the guests here a chance to shout themselves out, and then I'm gonna go and drink and
Like
cry.
a real man.
And cry a little bit.
Face.
It's probably gonna happen. Lav, closing thoughts?
I'm-
And where can people find you?
This is a great panel. I think overall, men and women are incredible counters to each other. They're an incredible team to each other. That's why we were created to, to love on each other and to enrich each other's lives in different ways. And yeah, be the best woman you can be the best man that you can be. Live with virtue, live with ethics, love fellow man. I'm impishly and impish pixie on a bunch of platforms, on every platform. I just got my Twitter back. Or not back, but I just got back on Twitter. I have a podcast called Bloodbath Pod. We have 2 episodes out. It's really great. And yeah,
Where can
thanks
people
for having
find
me,
that? Bloodbath Pod?
Bloodbath Pod. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Well,
You should
thank
put
you
links
for
to it.
being
I'm
here. I
actually
really
really interested.
appreciated you.
The
coming
links
on.
are in my bio on Instagram, on Twitter, on everything. So if
Check
you're
her out,
if you're
gang,
interested.
and we'd love to have you more on. Glad to have you back.
Awesome. Thank you
Mooncake.
so much. Bye.
Okay, yeah, I'm Mooncake. Wick, thank you for having me on. This was quite interesting. I hope I provided something of substance to this conversation. I hope from my what I did provide, men, even though I do tell you to do better, I also tell women to do better on both sides. So there are things we can definitely work on. And I'm hoping in the future we can somehow come together. Rez, it's very nice seeing you. I'm always
It's
kind
good
of
to see
hiding
you.
in your
Yeah,
Twitch.
no, 100%. It's good to see you too. Sorry
Um,
for being aggressive. This has been 3 years of my
no,
life.
no, you're fine.
Okay.
I'm just shocked. Maybe that's the word.
You're
But
okay. You're okay. Yeah, I'm not normally like this.
it was a lot of fun. Once again, guys, I am Canadian, so I do apologize that I say sorry a lot, but I will work on that. If you want to watch me play Genshin Impact in League of Legends, it's Mooncake XO on Twitch.
Thank you
And
for
that's all
being
you got
here.
for me.
Really appreciate you. Seventh was going to get an intro. Did she just?
No, it's okay. Claude doesn't want us to hear what he's going to do to her.
Okay. Gang, I don't know what to tell you. Tomorrow we're just gonna do call-ins, I think. I don't know. Next week on Wednesday, we're going to have an all-man panel talking about what's wrong with women. And so if you want to be a part of that, hit me up, and we will have maybe a discussion. Hopefully a better one. We'll see how it goes. For now, are any of you still streaming?
I don't think you should. I mean, you don't. I mean, don't.
Okay, well.
Raid Mooncakes.
Mooncake,
Are
are
you
you
streaming?
I'm not streaming. I was gonna
Go live,
go
live for like a half an hour. That way you can get follows and shit. It'll be good for you. If you can.
Then let's just raid impishly, actually.
Do that. Yeah, do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna get a glass of wine.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Maybe a few. Maybe some Jack and Coke.
I apologize for
No, Red,
my
listen.
valor and my strength.
Stop apologizing. For now though, we are going to call this a night, and we will see you all tomorrow. Make sure you spam that this is a hate raid, and spam my emotes if you got them. Thank you for the gift subs, Shadowrun Twitch, by the way. I really appreciate that.
Thank you again,
for all
Wick.
the support. Bye.
Bye.